I'm Chris Haley with Haley's Flooring and Interiors and Liberty Safes, and we will be giving away a Liberty Tactical Gun Safe, an $1,100 value. Listen for details.
The Toni and Gary SEC Football Pick'em Contest. Find out more online at ToniandGary.com and listen weekdays 5 to 8 a.m. here on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
Stand by 3.
You got those monkeys ready? Where's the midget?
Ride the board.
Ready, 8. Is the laugh button working?
Good, all right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. What the?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was standing on this wire. My bad.
It's the WBHP Morning Show with Toni and Gary.
But you can tell right away left to A when the people start to move.
5:04 on the morning show. It is Big Prize Giveaway Thursday, and yes, we have added some prizes. We have a pair of tickets to see Bill Engvall in concert. The Here's Your Sign guy. We'll play that in a little bit to kind of refresh your memory. Golf for two at Point Mallard's Championship Course as well as all the other prizes. Lots of stuff to give away. Tate Farms, Family 4-pack, Nick's, Popeyes, Dunkin' Donuts, a lot of food.
All kinds
Botanical
of stuff.
Gardens. Day Pass, Last Resort. All that's going to one person today. One person wins it all. But you got to call us. Phone numbers are
256-534-3521 and 309-2313.
We're going to start off with Family Feud. Family Feud this morning. An easy one, maybe. You never know. Name an occupation kids think is heroic. Name an occupation kids think is heroic. I have the top 6 answers. What do you think's on the list? So, phone numbers one more time.
256-534-3521 and 309-2313.
Okay, let's get to Matthew.
Well, Matthew's causing a bunch of trouble.
It is. There are mandatory evacuations.
Yeah, hadn't even got started on Florida yet, really. So right now, the eye of Matthew as a major hurricane category 3.
But it's right under a 4.
It's barely a 3, almost a 4. Still a major hurricane, and they think it may strengthen into a 4 by the time it hits Florida. Right now, it's just about to... Well, it is bearing down on the Bahamas and Nassau, but the eye of it's still just off the coast of the Bahamas, and it's moving northwest at 12 miles an hour. This has it hitting land at about 2 a.m., but...
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, obviously. That's the only 2 a.m. we're going to see. Again, Ms. Lowry, would be tomorrow morning.
Well, I hope it's not. I hope it's not the only 2 a.m. I ever see again.
That's not what I said. I said that's the next one we'll see is tomorrow morning's 2 a.m.
Okay.
So it's got it, once it hits, it's got it skirting up the coast.
Yeah.
The eye of it. Now, remember that cone is... I heard the Weather Channel, so I flipped over to the Weather Channel for the first time in what seems like centuries because I don't watch the Weather Channel. But they do have good hurricane coverage, and I enjoy watching some low-level person standing out in the middle of a hurricane holding on to a light pole trying to keep from being either drowned or blown away. They didn't have any of those people in Haiti, though. But anyway, they were saying that hurricane force winds 60 miles from the eye of the storm. Tropical storm force winds up to 200 miles from the eye of the storm. So that's huge.
Well, that'd be all the way across Florida.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. So they've got hurricane warnings all up the eastern seaboard of Florida and parts of Georgia now. It's going to get to Georgia sometime Saturday morning, maybe about 2 a.m. Saturday morning.
So it's skirting. The eye is. It looks like it's skirting the coast of Florida all the way up, which means major damage in every city along the coast.
I just heard Fox News say 7 to 10 inches of rain falling.
Yeah. Storm surge. 5
to 8 feet. Horrible. This is the worst we've seen in at least a decade.
Yeah, if it stays offshore, it stays off. You're still going to get the winds, the rain, and the.
Oh, it's huge right now. I was looking at radar down there, and at the moment, the outer bands. I mean, they're within a couple of hours of hitting Miami now. So,
but
that's
should
the outer
hit,
bands of rain.
Should it hit, that would be Andrew type stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then here's the weird thing. Okay, now this would be somebody did something wrong in Florida, kind of stuff.
Okay.
So once it goes, according to what it says right now, once it goes up the coast of Florida.
No, I know what you're about
and
to
then
talk
Georgia.
About. Yeah.
And then South Carolina, and then it makes a right-hand turn by Monday 2 a.m. Right. Mm-hmm. And then it goes south by Tuesday, 2 a.m. If it circles back around...
Yeah, it looks like,
because it looks like the track is putting it in a big circle out there.
Right.
Comes back around and hits Florida again.
That's another thing I saw on the Weather Channel, that there's a couple of, they call them spaghetti models.
Right.
They have like 10 or 15 that they watch.
Right.
And there's 3 or 4 that has it circling around and hitting Florida again.
After what it says is after it skirts all the way up from Miami... all the way up the coast, Daytona Beach, all the way up through Georgia, keeps skirting the coast, all the way up to South Carolina, hangs a right, goes south, then goes back west in a circle, and hits it again.
Yeah, that's what it shows. Surely that's not going to
surely,
happen.
to goodness.
I hope not.
We had one earlier this year, a week or two ago, that looked like it was going to do something similar.
Yeah, but it fizzled
but
finally.
it fizzled, yeah. Now, the other one that's out there is way out there in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we've got Tropical Storm Nicole.
Yeah.
And the only person it's going to hurt is whoever's lost in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, that's the one that looked like it was going in a circle.
It's just sitting there for the most part. It's moving at a blistering 9 miles an hour northwest. But now we do have a yellow X that we talked about yesterday that's sort of on the same path as Matthew took as it headed across the Atlantic into the Caribbean. And the forecast is there's only a 20% chance of formation, but once it gets into the Caribbean Sea early next week, they say, there could be some formation. And again, that's the same path that Matthew took, so we'll have to watch that one.
Wow. And it's October.
It is October. But it's beautiful around here.
It is.
All that activity down there just sucks anything that we're going to get away, and we need some rain. I noticed yesterday they put us under a
drought warning.
I can't remember the wording they use now, but we're dry is basically what the warning was. But yeah, you're not supposed to be burning when it's this dry. The ground is dry and the air is dry, so that makes for a bad combination. Today though, sunny 88, mostly clear tonight 58. It is 63 right now.
See, here's what I don't understand.
Okay,
they say it's dry, but we have 73% humidity. That's not low humidity.
No, but for some reason the humidity is always. I'm sure there's a scientific reason for this. The humidity is always more in the morning than it is.
Oh, is it? Okay.
When we get to the afternoon.
Okay.
I don't know why that is.
So we have a high of 88 today, right? Mm-hmm. Now look at the low tonight.
Yeah, 58.
58. It's going to be sweater weather tonight. At 58.
Yeah, for some of you people out there, it might be.
And then
that's still short weather for me. Mostly sunny on Friday, 87. We're starting to see a downtick. 59 on Friday night with clear skies. And then sunny Saturday, 82.
Yeah, you know what I hate?
What?
They raised the temperatures for Saturday and Sunday.
They did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because it was going to be like 73 on Sunday and 76 on Saturday, but now it's what, 82 Saturday?
82 Saturday, 78 Sunday. And then 80 on Monday, 80 Tuesday, and 81 Wednesday.
Yeah, see,
no rain.
70s, please. Can we have like 75? Please?
Yeah, about December 15th.
No, then it'll be 45 and we'll miss fall altogether.
No.
Anyway.
I hate it when that happens.
Oh, me too.
But I'll tell you what, Hunter's feeling the effects of fall.
Is he?
Oh, he's in a mess. His allergies.
Oh.
Good grief. I was looking at the 10-day forecast.
Uh-huh.
Looks like we might have a 10% chance of rain on the 13th. There's something for y'all to look forward to.
On the 13th. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, if you say so.
Yeah. You know, you get out the garden hose, I guess.
Well, at least you don't have to have your grass cut.
No, the grass. No, it's dead.
It's dead. Although I will have to have my dead grass cut pretty soon. Let's go to Jim. Hey, Jim, how are you?
Hey, good morning. Hey, you're talking about Family Feud?
Uh-huh.
I think probably a good answer that hopefully kids would think is a hero is policeman.
Policeman number 2 on the list. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
far,
speaking of
that's
policemen,
still
that
the...
incident they had yesterday up in around Sparkman and Blue Springs Road was something else.
I hadn't heard about that, Jim.
You hadn't heard about that?
I don't think so.
Oh, goodness. They had a patrol car that made a traffic stop on an individual, and it ended up, I think, 3 people in the car, and they started shooting at the police up there, and then took off and stopped and started shooting back at them again.
Good grief.
And then they got bailed out of their car, I think, and went in the neighborhood. So police, Huntsville PD, sealed off an area up there, did a search of the area, and finally caught them.
Wow. Good deal. What rock was I under last night?
I was going to say.
Yeah. I was saying, it was all over the local news.
Well, that's probably the problem. I very seldom get a chance to watch the local news. That's when Say Yes to the Dress comes on, Jim.
Oh my!
And I got to watch that with the wife. I got to see which dress they pick.
Good grief!
I know. I live a horrible life.
Thank God that no policeman got hurt. And I think they ended up catching the 3 guys without shooting them. So
that's good. That just shows you that we do have some good police work going on around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but sad state when people fire at police, and that's just because they stop you on some traffic violation.
Yeah. So it was Jeremy Hampton, 27, driving a vehicle with two other people in the car when police tried to conduct a routine traffic stop at the intersection of Sparkman and Blue Springs Road. And they said there was a short vehicle pursuit because the guy refused to stop. Said the suspect stopped the car and fired multiple shots at the police with a handgun. Officers returned fire. The suspect fled on foot. Probably just the shooter, not the other two. The 2 passengers fled. Oh, no. The other 2 fled in the suspect's vehicle. So the shooter jumps out. The other 2 take the car. They were later captured. And additional officers, K-9 teams, responded to the area there at Sparkman Drive and found the suspect hiding in a concrete drainage culvert. And he was taken into custody. So it looks like they got all 3 of them. And no one was hurt, thank God.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. But the protocol is that the 2 Huntsville police officers placed on administrative leave
because their firearm was discharged,
pending the outcome of an investigation. And the 2 passengers were being questioned by investigators. They say they don't know if they'll face any charges by taking the vehicle and running. Really? Isn't that like... That's why people do it.
Me,
yeah. If there aren't consequences for your actions...
Crime or something.
Yeah, if there aren't consequences for your actions, that's why they keep doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. But the shooter will be charged with 2 counts of attempted murder of a police officer.
Well, he's in trouble.
Now, he also had a pending warrant for first-degree robbery.
Would explain why he did what he did.
Why he shot at the police. Because he knew he had a warrant out for his arrest.
I don't know. I can't imagine what goes through someone's mind. Along the lines of some of the stuff my wife watches, she watches this show called I Almost Got Away. And it's about criminals who, this particular show is about them breaking out of prison and being on the run. It amazes me what goes through your mind when you're being pursued by a police officer and you think, well, if I do this, I'm going to get away. I mean, what makes you think that? I mean, it doesn't. It never works.
I don't think you're thinking. I think what you're thinking is, if I get caught, I'm going to prison.
You're just desperate.
You're desperate to do anything, yeah. And dumb instead of just turning yourself in, or not doing the crime in the first place.
Yeah, behave yourself. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. Then you wouldn't be in that situation.
Well, it's hard for people like us to put ourselves in those kinds of situations because we would never do things like that.
Right. In the first place, to be put in that situation.
That's right.
Although I do have to say that when we were at Disney, they had extreme security there. More than I had seen before. So you went through a, they go through your...
You were coming.
Excuse me?
They knew you were coming.
Well, it was funny. So they go through you're allowed to take a backpack in there with your water and food and stuff.
Right.
So they go through your backpack. Of course, we had a stroller, a couple of strollers, and, for the kids. And, they go through all that. And then they randomly select people to go through the extra, kind of like the TSA.
Right.
At the airport. Randomly select somebody to get extra scrutiny.
Right.
Well, 3 out of the 4 days, Cody, my son, got picked for the extra scrutiny.
Really?
Yeah. Which we started kidding him about it. I mean, he looked so touristy,
right,
in his polo and his shorts, and it was like, really, you? Anyway, so there was one guy. I think it was like the last. I forget which park it was that we were there, and there was there's two sides to this table. People are on one side, other people are on another side as they go through the line. And so they were questioning this guy that was across from me. He had something in his backpack they didn't like, so they they took it out and said for him to stand over here and blah, 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 blah. So they go through mine, I'm on my way, and here come 5 police officers, right? Or security officers, whatever. They look like police officers. They all look the same,
right?
And so, I'm grabbing a stroller and we're doing this. And they're walking toward me. And this woman walks right up in front of me and she says, "Can you come with me?" I said, "I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It was that guy over there. I didn't do anything."
Well, gee, that didn't look suspicious.
Well, it was like, whoa. And she laughed and she said, no. These guys are for him. You've just been selected for a random security check. Because I held my hands up, when they said, "Whoa, wasn't me."
Oh, that's great.
I didn't do anything. But I'm glad they do that.
Well, yeah.
But...
well, especially, remember the guy that shot up
the Orlando shooter.
He said he was going to Disney.
Well, he did go to Disney. They found... remember they found surveillance?
Right, but he said he was going to blow up Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And he and his wife were...
shoot up. Yeah.
Were staking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Were these unarmed security officers?
I don't know.
You don't know if they had a gun?
No.
Well, good grief.
I didn't
That's
know
very unobservant of you.
Well, it was, but... when they're walking up to you and she says, "Can you come with me?" I didn't notice.
It doesn't matter whether they have a gun or not, right?
It doesn't matter. Because she could have taken me down right there
I'm
if she
sure.
wanted to. Anyway, so... but
Jim, we took up all your time.
Sorry
I'm sorry
about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Anyway.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation.
Well, it just reminded me about the security. But at least they're secure. They do everything they can to keep you secure.
Yeah. They can just keep the gators away. We'll be doing all right.
I didn't see any gators.
Good.
Except where we were staying was on the ground floor, and there was a pond right there. And they did have a new sign there.
Really?
With an alligator on it. Yeah.
Oh.
And
did you see the area where the little boy was?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
That's a big area.
Is it?
Yeah. But being on the ground floor, now on the patio, it had railings and slats. So wood. I mean,
Yeah.
it would have taken a lot for a gator to get through there.
He would have had to been real hungry, huh?
Yeah. So Alice and I, Cody's wife, we had already decided if we see one coming, we're not just going to go in the house. We're going to go in the house and go out the front door and run, because if he can get through that wood, he could get through that glass of that door, and we wouldn't be safe anywhere in the house. Because it could eat through whatever.
Just imagine two gators talking and they say, "Blonde at 2:00. Let's go."
So
Alice is blonde too, isn't she?
yeah, auburn kind of hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so, we had already made our plan of escape just in case.
That's good to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't go anywhere near any water except the pool.
Right.
So, and
you had Chance go in first. Check that out, right?
you could see the bottom, and there were 4 lifeguards pacing all the way around the pool. It was amazing to watch them. And I guess what they're looking for is bodies on the bottom.
I guess so.
Well, seriously, because I took video of it, because they would walk forwards and they walk backwards a few steps. Each one had a certain area, and they walked back and forth. They never stopped. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's what that is, to make sure that the lifeguard had to jump in once, because these dumb parents were letting their little kid go down the water slide, and he wasn't coming up quick enough. And he was struggling when he did come up. And the one girl lifeguard jumped in, clothes, everything.
Yeah.
They didn't have on bathing suits; they had on shorts, and boy, she gave them a
talking to. Really? Oh.
Next, that if it happens again, they're gonna have to leave the pool. And
wow.
Yeah.
Well, how embarrassing for those parents.
They didn't care.
Oh.
That kid went back up there 3 or 4 or 5 times while we were sitting there, still struggling.
Well, what's wrong with these parents? I don't know. They leave kids in the back seat of cars, and they're hot cars, and they either get very ill or they die. They just don't care. It's all about me.
Well, they don't have that. I don't know. It's hard for me to talk because I'm so over. I really watch my kids. You know,
overprotective parental attitude.
Yeah. Well.
That's one thing that's really hard for me to get, is leaving the kid in the car and letting them die in heat. I don't get that.
I don't get that. That you have forgotten you have your kid and you didn't drop it off at daycare.
I saw a story they were telling about a story, I think it was in Atlanta, and the reporter at the end of the story said, experts say put your phone in the back seat so you don't forget your baby.
What? You'll remember your phone, but
before you will your baby.
Your kid?
That's what that suggested, and my mind was blown. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Wow.
It's your child.
Yeah, there's devices, the little alarms out on the market now that you can hook up to the kid, and you wear it, and if you get out and leave the kid in the device in the back seat, the alarm goes off.
I mean, I guess we'll have to use what we have to use, but I just don't understand it.
I don't either. How could you be so distracted that you forget your kid?
I don't get it.
I don't either.
That's
all righty. Well, Jim, you have a wonderful day.
Yeah. Are we going to get any fallout or rain from that storm down there?
Not a drop.
It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
It doesn't look like
and
it.
And when did they start naming? Here's a good trivia question. When did they start naming these things after men? It used to be they always had a female name.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. Corey will have to look that up, but I remember they were saying how sexist it was that hurricanes were only named after females, and then they added male names. But I can remember when it happened. It's been a while. It's been over 10 years. I know. Because they had Ivan, and it's probably been over 15 years. We'll look it up.
I remember that saying. hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Well, you got that right, Jim. You better remember it, too.
That's fair.
All right, you have a great day.
Bye.
And Ricky? Hey, Ricky.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
You guess you don't have any trivia yet, huh?
Yeah, I threw it out there. Family Feud, I threw it out early. So name an occupation kids think is heroic. Number 2 answer was police officer. What else do you think is on the list?
Fireman.
Fireman number 1. Number 1 is a firefighter.
Yeah, I think everybody wanted to be a firefighter.
When they were a kid, yeah.
Yeah. All right. You all have a good day.
Thank you, Ricky.
They started naming hurricanes in 1953.
Right.
The first male hurricane was 1979.
Oh, wow. It was earlier than I thought.
It was retired David, 1979.
Well, I guess that's right, because we had Andrew. You know, we've researched that one, and I don't know what year that was in Florida, but that was a... That was
Andrew was 1992.
92. That's. I guess that's what I was thinking was...
You thought that might have been the first?
Might have been, yeah.
Remember Hugo?
Was Hugo before...
1989.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm. And then that's the first one I think I remember hearing about. So David, 1979.
Wow. Been a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Listen to Toni and Gary on your smartphone.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen anywhere in the U.S.
And we're on HD Radio, 102.1-2. And don't forget to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Toni and Gary.
It's The Morning Show with Toni and Gary on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
Our 2016 iHeartRadio Music Festival is now music history. 20 of the biggest artists in the world, 2 nights on one stage in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Britney Spears. Georgia Line. Give it up.
Now, experience the festival on television and get an exclusive look backstage on a 2-part CW broadcast special.
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Say good morning to Janet Kinchelow Martin, Calhoun Community College. Janet, let's talk about scholarships.
One of the things that we found, and it doesn't matter, how financially available funds are or scholastically, we found that a lot of our students are in need of scholarships. And the good thing about scholarships is that it's money that doesn't have to be paid back. It's money that either a student has received because of their academic accomplishments or because they may be in financial need, or both. And so now is the time for students to start gathering their information, because our scholarship application opens November 1st. And it closes March 1st of next year. And people say, well, that's a long time, but really not, because we generally will get 600 or 700 applications for scholarships.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, and so we want people to get in. And one of the things that we're kind of changing the process a little bit, in that students can actually tell us which scholarships that they are interested in, as opposed to us trying to match what we think they want or need. And so that's one of the new things we're doing this year. Like I said, the good thing about scholarships, it doesn't have to be paid back.
Log on to calhoun.edu to register today.
In the market for a new or pre-owned RV? Let us help you. Hi, this is Chase with Bankston Motorhomes. For over 46 years, my family has helped thousands of people just like you enjoy the RVing lifestyle. Whether you are taking a trip to the beach, exploring the West, tailgating, or just going on a weekend trip with your family, we have something for you. View all of our inventory online at bankstonmotorhomes.com or stop by any of Bankston's 5 locations here in North Alabama and Southern Tennessee.
Keeping you informed. Now, a Tennessee Valley News Update on WBHP.
Good morning, I'm Steve Johnson. Here's a quick update from the WHNT News 19 newsroom. Huntsville police arrested 27-year-old Jeremy Hampton on 2 attempted murder charges Wednesday. He is accused of shooting at police officers. The incident happened at Blue Spring Road and Sparkman Drive yesterday afternoon. Police say when they tried to pull Hampton over, that's when he opened fire. It was caught after a manhunt in the neighborhood. Building on Redstone Arsenal had to be evacuated yesterday. The logistics support building near Gate 10 evacuated after authorities received a threatening communication from an employee. Redstone Arsenal police determined there was no risk. A federal judge determining whether to block 2 new Alabama abortion restrictions that ban clinics near schools and outlaw a second trimester abortion procedure. The law bans abortion clinics from being within 2,000 feet of public schools. Now, if that restriction stands, clinics in Huntsville and in Tuscaloosa would close. I'm Steve Johnson. Those are some of the stories we're tracking on this Thursday morning.
Hi, I'm attorney Charles Pittman. Hurt in a wreck and trying to get a hold of an attorney after business hours? Good luck. Because car wrecks happen 24 hours a day, we're available to get you the help you need 24 hours a day. And if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. We'll come to your house, your work, or even your hospital room. Get the help you need when you need it most, right now. Call us today at 533-5000.
Charles Pittman is the way to go. Call 533-5000.
Representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Our 2016 iHeartRadio Music Festival is now music history. 20 of the biggest artists in the world, 2 nights on one stage in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Britney Spears. Florida Georgia Line. Give it up.
Now, experience the festival on television and get an exclusive look backstage on a 2-part CW broadcast special.
This is the sound of a brand new outdoor grill being hurled off a 20-story building. Now a stylish glass coffee table. An electric guitar. These are the things you could enjoy, all cast into oblivion. Because when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have bought with it. Visit EnergySavers.gov and get tips on how to save energy and money. Then do things like switch to Energy Star light bulbs or Energy Star appliances, and you could save hundreds of dollars a year. So this doesn't happen to the recliner you've had your eye on, or this to the treadmill on your wish list, or this to the shiny new bike your kid's been asking for. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Your morning, your show. Toni and Gary on 800 and 1230 WBHP. The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by SOS Children's Villages.
Getting on the road this morning, we're off to a good start. The weather, not a problem. So far, we're not spotting any delays around Athens, around Decatur. No problems on 565 or along the Parkway course. It's still early. If you see traffic trouble, let us know. We'll pass it along. Our number is 877-811-3367. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
War, poverty, and disaster have left millions of children around the world orphaned, abandoned, alone. When their parents can't be there, SOS Children's Villages is there in 134 countries, including the U.S. To make a difference in a child's life, go to sosusa.org.
Those in politics are connected through organizations such as the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateralists, the World Banking Cabal, and they don't even care anymore if you know they're playing both sides of the war effort. We hate that much that we have to pretend like we're friends on one end and enemies on the other, and hey, serving with Al-Qaeda? You've got to be kidding me. That's what's called a Luciferian agenda.
Catch Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis every weeknight from 9 until midnight on 800 and 1230 WBHP and on our free iHeartRadio app.
Talking with Bo Thomas of Thomas HVAC, your train comfort specialist. Tell us about the new technology, Bo.
Well, Gary, this is the same technology. It's been used on airplanes for decades. It's been used to keep out dust, bacteria, viruses, allergens, and now we have it available for your home and your office.
So how does it work?
What we do, we install it into your system, so as it's running, we get a chance to filter the air throughout the whole house.
But what about the people who use humidifiers?
We've got that covered too. We've got a humidifier we'll install in the system so we can affect the entire house, and we can get rid of those bowls that are sitting over in the corner and eliminate using them in a room-by-room basis. Imagine all day and all night while you're sleeping, the air in your home is being cleaned so you get the best air quality in every room 24 hours a day.
How do they get a hold of you, Bo?
Call us at 256-858-4822 or find us online at coolhuntsville.com.
Toni and Gary sound better in HD. Listen on your HD radio at 102.1 HD2.
Hey, this is Bo Thomas with Thomas HVAC Company. It's football season. That means I'll be giving away $100 in cash to one Toni and Gary listener each week.
The Toni and Gary SEC Football Pick'em Contest. Find out more online at ToniandGary.com and listen weekdays 5 to 8 a.m. here on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
Welcome back to the morning show. Okay, what are we giving away?
$40 for Popeye's Cajun Fried Chicken. Movie passes for 2 at Hollywood 18. Family 4-pack to the Botanical Gardens. $20 from Dunkin' Donuts, Huntsville and Madison. And today is Big Prize Giveaway Thursday, so we've added $100 to Nick's Ristorante on South Bailey Cove in Huntsville.
And a day pass to the range at Last Resort Guns, County Line Road in Madison.
All you have to do is call us. At the end of the show, we'll draw from all the people who have called in, and that person wins.
534-3521 and 309-2313.
And we've added prizes. We have golf for 2 at Point Mallard's championship course. We have a family 4-pack to Tate Farms. Great family fun. Mm-hmm. And we have a pair of tickets to see Bill Engvall in concert at the BBC that's coming up on the 18th.
He's so funny.
He is funny. The Here's Your Sign guy.
The Netflix just put up a new comedy routine, a comedy special with him and Jeff Foxworthy, and I watched it over the weekend. So funny.
They're good together, aren't
they? They are good together.
So we're playing Family Feud. Family Feud, name an occupation that kids think is heroic. Number 1 on the list, firefighter. Number 2, police officer.
I remember when I was little, they had you could buy a firefighter's hat, and on this hat, seems kind of corny now, but on this hat, excuse me, it had a red light on top, and it would actually come on and
circle around. Oh, that's funny.
It was pretty cool.
Yes,
but that was years ago.
You still have it. I bet.
21 or 22.
Now and then. Oh, you 21 or 22?
Yeah, sometimes I wear it.
Yeah.
Fallon doesn't like it when I wear it, but she'll get over it.
We have 4 others on the list.
I wish I bet something like that would be worth some money.
I bet it would.
Because they don't make things like that anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
All right, so firefighter number 1, police officer number 2. I have 4 others on the list.
Awesome.
All right, so call us. Phone numbers are
256-534-3521 and 309-2313.
And let's go to Roger. Hey, Roger.
Good morning.
Hey.
So I'm going to go with military, soldier. Would that be on the list?
I am shocked that it is not on the list. Not in the top 6.
Wow.
Yeah, that is very sad. Very sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
How far we have come.
What's that?
I said, how far we have come.
I'm sure that was number 7.
Oh,
probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that was, when I was a kid, that was one of the favorite, type games we play. Play Army. Get your friends. You'd be, one would be on one side, one would be on the other. You play Army. I mean, that was. So I know when I was a kid, that would have been definitely on the list.
Absolutely.
That's my kids now. That's their favorite game is to play Army. I mean, I've got like a zillion of those little army men across my house.
Yeah, that you step on. And,
oh, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was going to say, the news, all the channels, they're so biased when it comes to
they are awful.
Which side they are for the election. But, I've been a huge Saturday Night Live fan for years. I've watched them for years. And I don't know if you've seen the latest one. Usually the very first skit they do is something political or something that's happened here recent. And they had Alec Baldwin playing Trump.
Yes.
And even that was hugely biased. It gets to where you just can't even watch it anymore because it's so one-sided.
Well, and Alec Baldwin hates Trump with a passion.
Right.
And even the girl that plays Hillary, they don't make her look so bad. But everything, no, it doesn't matter which channel you turn it to, there is anti-Trump. Everything is anti-Trump.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll give you a real good example. So the Attorney General of New York issued a cease and desist letter to the Trump charity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now this is the same guy who is handling the Trump University case, who brought charges.
He's also the same guy who decided not to investigate the Clinton.
That was my next point.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. But when
I stole your thunder.
You did.
I'm sorry.
So when it was found out that Hillary's charity did not complete the paperwork, they didn't bring her up on charges. So that was my point.
I'm sorry.
That's
Tony.
all right. You were excited.
The point still got across.
It got across, yeah. Poor Corey was jumping out of the seat. But
you're missing something.
Yeah.
You forgot something.
And it's funny to watch him, too, do that. But everything is biased.
Yeah. And even the false claims, it doesn't matter what you say. It could be totally 100% false. But as long as you get that statement out, the public has heard it, so they're going to think about it.
Exactly. It's kind of like Tim Kaine saying that Hillary had Hillary kept the Iranians from getting nukes.
Yeah.
Well, that had to be the biggest lie of the whole thing because, they're on a path to nuclear weapons right now.
Right.
It's just not going to be in 6 months. It'll be in 5 years, but not in 6 months. So what's the difference?
Right.
And now we know they have. And now we know they have.
What difference does it make?
A story we're going to do here in a little bit is where the Obama administration is hidden, and won't let Congress see the documents on the hostages.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that ours? Doesn't that belong to us?
You think so?
Or at least those in Congress who have the security clearances.
What about those cell phones and computers that were broken with a hammer? Didn't they belong to us too? Didn't we buy those?
Yeah. What about the laptops that belonged to Cheryl Mills and her aide that the FBI and the DOJ decided they would destroy?
Yeah.
That's evidence. Anytime there's classified evidence on anything, you're not supposed to destroy it ever. Anyway,
it's supposed to be in a little box in a warehouse.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Roger.
That's the things that Trump needs to really focus on this Sunday in his debate. Don't get caught up in all of the stuff that Hillary would talk about, taxes. When she mentions his taxes, turn around and don't answer that. Just turn that story into something else about her and what she's done in her past. You know what I mean?
And he could even answer it by saying, I've paid $100 million in taxes. Now let's talk about lowering taxes for the American people because that's what they care about.
Right.
Don't go into a long, drawn out.
topics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if she says it again, just ignore it and go on and put. If he doesn't take this is a town hall setting. He should be better in this, and he needs to take this opportunity to talk about people's taxes and Obamacare and talk about Bill Clinton saying that it was a joke. Obamacare is a joke, basically. Say, well, your husband said it was no good. Why do you still want to have it? And talk about Benghazi, and so when they talk about cybersecurity, where were you? Were you asleep? Where were you? Why weren't you? And I would love to hear him say, when they talk about national security, why weren't you in the Situation Room the whole night?
Right.
Why were you at home in bed? Why weren't you in the Situation Room trying to save our people in Benghazi? I'd love to hear him ask her that. But you've got Anderson Cooper, who's going to ask about Miss Universe and And I would say, I'm not talking about that. I'm going to talk about what's important to the American people. That's what I would say.
Absolutely.
Don't
100%.
take the bait. Because he spent 8 minutes on taxes. I mean, he just nothing that people care about.
Well, and Trump's problem is not only should he not take the bait, he also should not tweet about it for the next 10 days after the debate.
Somebody needs to take his phone away.
Talk about a phone that needs to be smashed by a hammer. It's Donald Trump's.
If I was running this campaign, I would at least take it away and give him a flip phone. That way he'd have to struggle a little bit to get the tweets out.
That's right.
Well, at least keep it away from him for the next 12 hours. Because, he's an impulse tweeter.
Wait, that's right. Wait until he calms down.
And then give it back to him.
And then he can have it back.
Don't we do that with our children?
We do.
We should do that with the next president of the United States.
If he doesn't know how to behave, yes, we do.
Oh. It's been a pleasure, Roger.
All right, have a great day.
You too. I got to say, though, Glenn Beck, what has happened to him? Now all Trump supporters are Nazis. What is up with that?
Yeah, I played, while you were gone, I played the interview that he interviewed Ted Cruz the day after. The Monday after Ted Cruz
endorsed
Donald Trump. So I played the very last question. The whole interview was pretty good, and I put it on the blog. But the very last question was something to the effect of, Glenn Beck said, Ted, now, a lot of different candidate supporters get their emails, and you're the only person that I gave our information to, and now all of a sudden I'm getting Donald Trump email. We're getting flooded with Donald Trump email. What I want to know, Ted Cruz, is did you give him my information?
What?
I mean, straight up, flat-footed, asked him.
And what did he say?
And Ted Cruz says, well, I rent out my list. Yes, I do. So, yeah.
Wow.
Ted Cruz apparently has rented out his list
to
Donald Trump.
I wonder what you get for renting out a list.
I don't know.
We need to make a list. Let's go to Tricia. Hey, Tricia.
Good morning. Is one of your answers your pastor or your preacher?
I wish.
Oh, it's not not on there?
No, Tricia.
Oh.
Okay.
It ought to be number one.
Good guess, Tricia. And Mark. Hey, Mark.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Did you have a good vacation or trip or whatever?
Yeah, it was good. Came back sick.
Came back sick. That's no fun. Well, I sent y'all an email. I would love to be considered for a pseudo sit-in guest host sometime. As long as I've been on this show the 15, 20 years, I think that would be really cool to be on the air for a few hours and talking while one of you guys are on vacation.
And he has you in the
top of the list.
Top of the list there, Mark.
Well, that would be one of my life's bucket list dreams.
Wow.
Well, you're there.
We'll do what we can to fulfill your bucket list, Mark.
That's why we're here.
Too early for deep politics. You have any little fluffy trivia that you think I can answer?
I do. So, Family Feud. Name an occupation that kids think is heroic. Number 1 was firefighter. Number 2, police officer. I have 4 more on the list.
Heroic. And you already named the 2 that I would have thought. Astronaut.
Astronaut, number 3. And if you didn't get that one, I was going to chastise you.
Well, it doesn't pair up with saving lives, but it is heroic.
It is
heroic. It used to be. It's not what it used to be back in the John Glenn, Neil Armstrong days. But it's still, I would take a ride. That's for sure.
Yep. And I think the next 3, I would not consider heroic. So I guess what they're talking about is you have to be brave to do them.
Okay.
Well, that's heroic too. All depends. All right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to get qualified, say hello, and just chat for a second. So I'll let everybody else get on the air. But y'all have a good week and good weekend, and roll tide.
There you go. Thank you, Mark.
Hey, Tony.
Yes.
Now I had Mo Brooks on the phone with us.
Yeah, I can't believe that you talked to him without me. Did he miss me?
Probably not. But Now, I did ask him one hard question.
You did?
I sat here the whole conversation stewing. Should I ask him this question? And Mayor Paul Finley was helping me out, and while Paul was shooting him with some questions, I was just sitting here thinking, should I ask him this? So I asked him. I said, now you can answer this or you don't have to. It doesn't matter. What did it disappoint you when Ted Cruz endorsed Donald Trump?
Oh, you didn't ask me.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, and what did he say?
He said, no, it didn't. And this is what Mo Brooks said to us. I've been saying for months you should vote for the Republican candidate.
He has been saying that.
That's what he said.
But he has been saying that.
I guess.
He
hasn't told us that yet, but
yeah, he did. He said he said he would vote for the Republican nominee.
Did he say that?
Yes, he did.
Okay, fine.
So I'm going to have to take up for him.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but I'm glad you got that out there.
And so so I texted him. I said, I just wanted to throw a hard question in there so you didn't miss Tony too much.
What did he say?
He wrote back, LOL.
Yeah, I bet he did. All right, we'll take a break. Don't go away.
Listen to Toni and Gary on your smartphone.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen anywhere in the U.S.
And we're on HD Radio 102.1-2. And don't forget to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Toni and Gary.
It's the morning show with Toni and Gary on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. Thursday morning traffic, we're off to a good start around the valley. The weather, not a problem. Things moving okay around Decatur, around Athens. No problems around Madison. Things moving okay for you on 565, and no problems on the Parkway. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
Right now, there's a girl in India who has dreams bigger than her village. Right now, there's an elder in Guatemala who dreams of a life of greater dignity and less loneliness. You can help change the future of one person in a single moment. Begin the change at unbound.org.
Gary Dobbs here talking with Stuart Tanksley of Pro Fence of the Tennessee Valley. Stuart, tell us what you do.
We build just about any kind of fence you want within reason, obviously. We try to ensure that our customers get what they pay for and they get the best value. I like to sell people on quality instead of price, but there's an old adage that says, you get what you pay for. And, that's something that we're proud to stand behind. We build a better quality product by taking extra steps and extra measures that we don't charge extra for. And, being a small business versus some of our competitors, we don't have the huge overhead.
And with lower overhead, you can pass that savings along to your customers. So give ProFence a call. Talk to Stuart Tanksley. The number is 584-0092. That's 256-584-0092. If you want a fence built right and you want to save money, you need to be talking to ProFence.
If you have been arrested for DUI, plead not guilty and call us. You have the right to a lawyer. If they take your driver's license, call us. We can get it back. I'm attorney Russell Crumbly. Get answers to your legal questions now by calling 855-256-LAWS. The Tennessee Valley Law Call Program is a free service for you and can help you with answers to your legal questions. Call 855-256-LAWS now.
Powered by Crumbly Law Firm and WBHP.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free. Go to mypillow.com or call 800-480-1941 and use the promo code iHeart. That's 800-480-1941 or go to mypillow.com and use the promo code iHeart.
Our 2016 iHeartRadio Music Festival is now music history. Let's go! 20 of the biggest artists in the world, 2 nights on one stage in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Britney Spears, Florida Georgia Line. Give it up!
Now, experience the festival on television and get an exclusive look backstage on a 2-part CW broadcast special.
If you have questions about youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance has answers. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, offers more than 1,000 free online resources to inform and inspire youth and high school coaches, parents, student athletes, and administrators.
Bring
Visit
home the fun.
PCADevZone.org.
Casino games on your PC. These are the same games you play at the casino, but you can play them at home. To get you started, here's an offer that'll save you 40% off your entire order. Go to Phantom EFX. Choose your games and enter promo code iHeart at checkout. PhantomEFX.com. Promo code iHeart at checkout. Play casino games at home. And save 40% at PhantomEFX.com. Promo code iHeart.
Glenn Beck.
And I want to thank Congresswoman Marcia Fudge for hosting us.
I want to thank Marcia Fudge for having such a fun name.
Glenn Beck.
Is this a real clip?
Weekdays 8 to 11.
I head over to Hartselle, Alabama, Highway 31, and do business with my friend Eddie Pruitt, and you'll do it too, because he'll treat you right at Eddie Pruitt Ford, Highway 31, Hartselle.
This is WBHP Huntsville, WHOS Decatur, and WDRM-FM HD2 Decatur, an iHeart radio station.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Hurricane Matthew expected to hit Florida today. Broward County Mayor Marty Kerr urging residents to take the storm seriously.
It is very, very important that our residents who have not yet got prepared, get prepared.
About 2 million Florida residents have been urged to evacuate. Matthew could strike Florida as a Category 4 storm with 130-mile-an-hour winds. A 29-year veteran of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office was shot and killed yesterday while answering a burglary call. Sergeant Stephen Owen died about 2 hours after he was gunned down.
And we're all suffering right now.
Captain Steve Katz says the suspected gunman was arrested after commandeering the deputy's patrol car, ramming a second police vehicle, then hiding in a home. The San Francisco Giants will take on the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field tomorrow as the National League Division Series gets underway. The Giants beating the New York Mets 3-0 in last night's wild card game. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Dick Morris says Trump can defeat Hillary, but he must fight back. In his runaway New York Times bestseller, Armageddon, How Trump Can Defeat Hillary, Morris reveals a winning plan. Morris knew Hillary for 20 years. In Armageddon, he reveals her darkest secrets. Now, Trump must expose these secrets. Newsmax calls Armageddon the most explosive book of the campaign. Armageddon, at bookstores everywhere, or get Newsmax's free offer. Call 800-NEWSMAX, 800-NEWSMAX, or go to newsmax2016.com.
I'm Jerry Reynolds, the Car Pro. There is simply no reason why you should settle for anything less than the best deal you can get on your next car or truck. Listen to the Car Pro Show with me, Jerry Reynolds, or go to carprousa.com.
Saturdays noon to 3 and Sundays 9 to 11 a.m. on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson paid by Open Jar.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter implanted to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. If you or a loved one has had an IVC filter implanted, you may be entitled to substantial compensation, even if you haven't experienced any injury at this time. IVC filters have been considered an accident waiting to happen by many. Call the IVC helpline now at 800-216-HURT for a free consultation with an experienced attorney. IVC filters have been known to fracture and cause tearing of the heart, lungs, internal bleeding, and even death. Our network of experienced attorneys are ready to fight for you. You pay no fees unless your case is settled, but time is limited to make a claim. Don't fight this alone. If you or a loved one has an IVC filter implanted, call the IVC helpline now. Operators are standing by 24/7 to take your call at 800-216-HURT. 800-216-HURT. That's 800-216-HURT.
The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Thursday morning traffic looking good around the valley. We're not spotting any problems up and down the parkway. No big delays heading over Chapman Mountain. 565 in good shape. No problems around Athens or Decatur. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
So many of you thought about becoming teachers when you were little. Well, it's time to put it back on your list. Innovative things are happening in teaching today. Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach.
If you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the Tennessee Valley, you need to think first of Carrie Rosenblum and Rosenblum Realty in Huntsville, because experience matters. Right, Carrie?
Absolutely, Gary. As you go into a real estate transaction, one of the biggest investments you ever make, it's important to know that you're in good hands and people that can help you out. And we at Rosenblum Realty, we know the processes involved in getting you there from start to finish. We know the locations that you're going to want to be, as we talk with you, to locate in and know how to pick the right properties out. And we try to provide no surprises. You know, that's important, not to be surprised at the closing table with dollars and cents that you didn't expect to pay. So throughout the whole process of getting a contract done, negotiating, and getting a home inspected and on down to the closing table, we're going to find you the right places with no surprises. Call us at 539-9501 or visit our website at rosenblumrealty.com, and we'll be glad to find the right place for you.
Guys, when it comes to grooming, we're no longer interested in discount chains and unisex salons. Men nowadays demand the warm, personal atmosphere of the barbershop of days gone by, while enjoying man-sized leather chairs, big screen TVs, and a cold drink. Rooster's Men's Grooming Center has it all for you. They're located at 475 Providence Main Street in Huntsville. Give them a call at Rooster's Men's Grooming Center at 489-0886. If you're looking for one of the finest dining experiences in the Tennessee Valley, if you're looking for the best, absolute best steaks and the freshest seafood, look no further. Nick's Ristorante on Bailey Cove Road, south of Weatherly in Huntsville, is the place for you. Go by and see our buddy Nick and all the family there waiting to serve you with the best food that Huntsville has seen in years and years at Nick's Ristorante on Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly.
Maddie, what are you doing? How do you like the new sign? Sutton and Daughters Furniture? Does Daddy know about this? Well, we can't call it Sutton and Sons because we don't have any brothers. And besides, we've helped Daddy in the store practically since we were babies. Sutton and Daughters, that has a nice ring to it. Finally, some respect around here. Laren, this could be the start of a new trend. Either that or World War III.
The brands you trust, like Clayton Marcus and Craftmaster, at a price you'll love.
That's because Daddy said sell it.
Sutton Furniture.
Highway 72 in Athens.
Can't hear your favorite shows on the radio? Then listen to WBHP on your phone with the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm Kerry Rosenblum with Rosenblum Realty, and it's football season again, and that means I'll be giving away $50 cash to one lucky Toni and Gary listener each week.
The Toni and Gary SEC Football Pick'em Contest. Find out more online at tonyandgary.com and listen weekdays 5 to 8 a.m. here on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
I just hate stupid people. They should have to wear signs that just say, I'm stupid. That way you wouldn't rely on them, would you? You wouldn't ask me anything. Be like, excuse me. Oh, never mind. I didn't see your sign. It's like for my wife and I moved from Texas to California, our house is full of boxes. There's a U-Haul truck in our driveway. My friend comes over and goes, hey, you moving? Nope. We just pack our stuff up once or twice a week. Just see how many boxes it takes. Here's your sign.
Why can't they get the picture? Why don't they understand? We're not dealing with the planet of apes. We're talking about the modern man. So you people with them itsy bitsy teensy weensy tiny minds, here's your sign.
That is Bill Engvall, and we have added a pair of tickets to the VBC to see him in concert.
He's so funny.
He is a comedian. If you haven't seen him, he is hilarious. Mm-hmm. He really is.
And he's clean.
It's family fun.
Yep.
So we've added that along with Tate Farms, Family 4-Pack, and Golf for Two at Point Mallard's Championship Course. All that's going to one person today, along with all the other big prizes for today, but you got to call us. Okay, let me see here. We are playing Family Feud, and make sure I get this right. So, name an occupation kids think is heroic. Now, I'm going to say these last three I would not consider heroic. Maybe you have to be brave to do them, but not necessarily.
You're not a hero for doing it?
Heroic, yes.
Okay.
Number 1 was firefighter. Number 2, police officer. Number 3, astronaut. We have 3 more.
Soldier was not on the list.
Not on the list. Can't believe it. What do you think is on the list? Call us. Phone numbers are
256-534-3521 and 309-2313.
So the president came out yesterday and said that this landmark agreement on climate change will enter into force on November 4th. The Paris Treaty. But we don't. But it's not a treaty. It's an agreement, because a treaty would have to be ratified by the Senate. So let's hear what he had to say. Here we go.
There's already some really interesting work, not definitive, but powerful, showing that the droughts that happened in Syria contributed to the unrest and the Syrian civil war.
Stop right there. So on top of saying that we're going to enter into this agreement, he is now saying that it has nothing to do with pulling our troops out of Iraq, that climate change, and I love the way he says this, there's already some really interesting work, not definitive,
no,
but powerful
work,
showing that the droughts that happened in Syria contributed to the unrest and the Syrian civil war. Now, what started the Syrian civil war was the Arab Spring.
And what started that, Tony?
That would be the Hillary and Obama started that. Are you kidding?
I was waiting on it. Yes.
They wouldn't help the Iranians.
He'd be the reason it started.
They wouldn't help the Iranians when they tried to do an Arab Spring thing.
That's right.
But then when everybody else did, they would say, go ahead, do it, do it. Yeah. So when people rose up to a dictator and he shot them all, that started the Syrian civil war, not climate change. It's not because they were hot.
Well, you know what he's using. I mean, there are studies out there that show that criminal activity in the United States goes up in the summer.
That's true.
But that doesn't correlate with war.
No. Go ahead with the rest of this.
That across a lot of states, a lot of nation states that already contain a lot of poor people who are just right at the margins of survival. This becomes a national security issue.
That would be climate change.
Even as we have members of Congress who scoff at climate change at the same time as they are saluting and wearing flag pins and extolling their patriotism, they're not paying attention to our Joint Chiefs of Staff and the Pentagon, who are saying that this is one of the most significant national security threats that we face over the next 50 years.
Now, let me break that down for you.
Please do.
What an idiot.
Well, that's all we needed to hear.
So he said if you start magnifying that across a lot of states as climate change, a lot of nation states that already contain a lot of poor people who are just right at the margins of survival, it becomes a national security issue. And that's why even as members of Congress who scoff at climate change, at the same time they're saluting and wearing flag pins and extolling their patriotism.
Wow.
What?
So it's now unpatriotic
to be against climate change. They're not paying attention to our Joint Chiefs of Staff and the Pentagon, who are saying that climate change is one of the most significant national security threats that we face over the next 50 years. Now, whoever is saying this in the Pentagon has got to be a far leftist Obama person.
Yeah, they were told to say it.
They were told to say it. Because for people to think that climate change is one of the most significant national security threats that we face, they're insane. They're insane.
I can't make myself dumb enough to understand that.
And follow the money. So how many billions? What did he pledge? 500 billion? A lot of people are going to make a lot of money off this agreement right here. Now, the agreement, landmark agreement, is, according to the president, will enter into force on November 4th, backed by a coalition of the world's largest polluters and small island nations threatened by rising seas. According to the UN, all are expected to deposit their instruments of ratification over the next few days. So they may be ratifying it, but we haven't ratified it.
Well, no, because we have a king, apparently.
Well, anyway, so 55 countries, accounting for at least 55% of global emissions, have adopted it. 62 countries have done so as of Tuesday. But that's only about 52% of emissions. Mm-hmm. So if it's only going to cover 52% of emissions, and not everybody's in on it.
Has China signed on yet?
Well, China has signed on, but remember...
Really?
I'm going to have to do this from memory, which is bad. Remember what China said is by 2025 they do something?
Oh, that's right. They signed on, but they're not going to do anything right now.
Right. Another 10 years or so they might do something.
They're building like...
coal plants everywhere.
Yeah, aren't they opening one a week?
Something
Isn't that
like
what it was?
that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm. But we're closing all ours.
Right.
So how can you have global climate change ratification when only half the planet's doing it?
If we don't ratify it...
We didn't ratify it.
If we don't, if Congress
treaty.
doesn't ratify it...
It's not a treaty.
Is it binding?
Well, I don't
know.
For us? That's why we need to talk to somebody who knows.
Well,
and it's got to be
where do we go?
Well, we'll have to go to the Senate.
Okay.
To find out because
I can tell you what Congressman Brooks would tell us.
It's not a treaty.
I don't know.
He'd say, I don't know. It's not a treaty. So how in the world can he do this? Because it's going to cost Americans billions of dollars. And what we're doing is we're giving the money to poor countries. This is my interpretation of this. This goes back to America is not an exceptional nation. And we have to bring poor nations up to our standards, so we have to give them a lot of money, and this is a good way to do it.
Right.
Because he hates America.
Yep.
Basically.
He does.
And so because America we need to be brought down a peg or two to be equal to all the other countries, and we're going to have to give them our money.
He thinks America is as snobby as he is. That's deep, isn't it?
It is deep.
But he is snobby as all get out.
Let's go to Clarence. Hey, Clarence.
Hey, Tony.
Hey.
You know, like you, I just get the funny feeling he doesn't care much for this country.
Well, he doesn't like this country, and he, like I say, this is his plan. One of his plans. Well, there's two things to this. Number one, the war in Syria, ISIS, so forth, has nothing to do with Islamic terror and everything to do with climate change. And two, he's got to keep bringing America down, bring them down, so that and give our money to other countries so that they can come up, so that everybody in the world is equal.
You know, when he was running for chief meteorologist, I believe he kind of mocked wearing a flag pin.
He did.
And I don't think he wore one. And then all of a sudden he was wearing one.
Well, it's because he got so much flack for it. But
he also didn't put his hand over his heart during the national anthem. And then all of a sudden he was doing that.
You know, and for him to say that if you don't believe in climate change, you're not patriotic. Saying that Congress scoffs at climate change at the same time they are saluting and wearing flag pins and extolling their patriotism. Really?
I'm not sure I see the connection.
There is no connection.
I'm telling you, Tony, I can't wait for this guy to hit the road.
Very sad.
Hey, I heard you talking about Glenn Beck earlier. Well, I don't listen to him anymore. Sorry, WBHP. But I was in the car, I believe it was Monday, as your show was ending. And I was, anticipating my winning the daily prize, which I didn't, but that's okay. And so I decided I would hang around for Glenn Beck for a minute. And I thought I'd play a guessing game, and because I was bored.
Good thing you weren't playing a drinking game.
No, I was just playing a guessing game. I don't play drinking games, but so when he comes on at 8:00, he spends about a minute telling you what he's going to be talking about with the music in the background. So when he comes on, I'm thinking, Trump's a Nazi. Trump's a Nazi. So he starts off, he was going to talk about Julian Assange, and then he was going to talk about how the markets in Europe were showing some really bad signs. And then he says, I've got new information about the alt-right and their alliance with the Klan and Nazis. So I thanked him and turned the radio off.
I mean, really? There was an interesting man on the street interview that was done not too long ago at 2 or 3 different Trump Trump rallies.
I bet that's happened more than once.
Oh, boy. Anyway, so they were asking the people in the audience.
Was it in Nevada?
In Nevada, yes. No, about if they knew what the alt-right is. None of them knew.
Of course
Had
not.
no idea what these were hard-working, regular people at these rallies, and it's like, alt-right? No, I don't know what that is. What is that? Kind of a thing.
Right.
This is a media Clinton-driven story.
It's trumped up.
Now, there are some outliers out there.
Sure.
That are in
There's always extremists.
In every
There's
group.
outliers everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But to talk to these people, for Glenn Beck to call Trump supporters Nazis is, they live in a bubble, Clarence.
Absolutely.
They need to get out there and talk to real people.
Tony, I don't watch the news on TV, and I haven't for several years now because it's not important to me anymore. But I read about the news every day, and I'm really not sure what the alt-right is and who belongs to it.
And who belongs to it, I know. And
when it first came out, Tony and I the next morning was like, what is the alt-right?
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was.
We'd never heard of it.
Yeah, we had to go in and do a little research on it. And that's a fringe element, and that's about what it is. But if you look at the Klan and the David Dukes of the world who are running, for Senate or whatever, the same. We've talked about this before. They're Klan members and Grand Dragons who are supporting Hillary, and nobody loved the KKK more than Hillary with Robert Byrd.
They're looking for a different trigger word than racist because people are becoming used to that word,
right.
and it doesn't have the effect it used to. So now they're looking for a different term or word.
But if you
they thought alt-right would be it, but it's not.
You notice that all the Democrats are using that. All the talking heads on all the CNN shows or whatever. Well, they're the alt-right.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
That's
well,
not
it's not
catching on,
sticking.
No, it's not.
People are
Tony,
going,
all the alt-right is, it's the new boogeyman.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. You're right.
Hey, since you gave hints about the trivia,
yes,
and it's, of course, it's quite disappointing, but typical that soldiers aren't on there, I will say that one of your answers is one of these king crab fishermen in the up there in Alaska.
That's a great guess.
Yeah,
That's not on there either, but that is a great guess.
Got to be brave to do that.
Yeah, you have to be brave to do that, and it's dangerous. Yes.
All right, guys, y'all have a good day.
You too, Clarence and Marilyn. Hey, Marilyn.
Hi, good morning.
Hey.
So if you took that $5 billion and invested it in industry where those poor people live, they wouldn't be poor anymore. Then they'd just be hot.
They'd still be hot. They wouldn't be poor, but they would be hot.
But they'd be able to buy themselves an air conditioner.
Absolutely. I'm thinking that's where the $5 billion needs to go.
Yeah, except he's talking $500 billion.
Well, even less poor people.
Mm-hmm. And that's from America alone, from the U.S. alone.
The problem, Marilyn, is you're using common sense to think about this. He doesn't have any.
Oh, darn! I did it again. I'm so sorry.
And I'll say this, that there are areas where people have gone and are really helping the farmers, with irrigation and things like that,
Absolutely.
and where they can grow
Absolutely.
their own food. They're already doing that.
It's just not enough.
So this whole, they're not going to change. What, they're going to change the climate in poor countries?
They need President Bush's hurricane machine.
I guess. It really
Mother
is.
Nature is Mother Nature.
It's insane.
It is. Have a good day.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Tony, has it always been dry over there?
I believe it's always been a desert.
I thought so. Huh.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, there could have been a time.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Garden of Eden.
Right.
I don't think that was a desert, but
it's been a while back.
Been a while back, yeah. Otherwise, always been desert.
Always been hot.
Be back.
On your smartphone, download the free iHeartRadio app and listen anywhere in the U.S.
And listen on your computer free anywhere in the world.
And we're on HD Radio 102.1-2. And don't forget to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Toni and Gary.
It's the morning show with Toni and Gary on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
Say good morning to Mary Lawrence, Sonoma's Mortgage, First Commercial Bank. Okay, Mary, so I want to build a house. What's my first step?
Well, the first step is very similar to buying any house, to get pre-qualified and then to find out your options. So we go through it a little bit differently when you're building, and it's a little bit longer process, but very similar to home buying process for an existing house.
So, Mary, I've decided I want to build a house, but I have to buy a lot, right?
Yes.
And then you're going to help me figure out how to get all the people together that I need to build the house?
And we can be a one-stop shop for that, for buying the lot, for time close, or whether it makes more sense to do 2 closes, depending on the type of loan that you're looking for, the type of down payment, and the equity you might have.
And the thing is, I may not even know that.
Right, because we can be creative on how we come up with the down payment in this scenario. So it's good to have that conversation either before or as you're talking to your builder.
So again, the first stop that I need to make is with you.
It makes sense because you get the whole picture drawn out and kind of a map of where you need to go.
Call Mary Lawrence today on her cell phone, 256-755-1008. All loans subject to credit approval. Rates and fees subject to change. NMLS number 180085.
These days, you gotta have a side hustle. And I'm not talking about a 9-to-5. I'm talking about driving with Uber. It's the ultimate side hustle. You want to earn extra money? Drive with Uber. Have a few spare hours here and there? Drive with Uber. You like the idea of being your own boss? Drive with Uber. You make a great boss. You're probably driving right now. You should be earning. If you want your car to start making you money, then visit uber.com/drive now and get your side hustle on today. That's uber.com/drive now.
You're listening to the actual sound of Jupiter. Its electromagnetic waves were captured by a probe and beamed roughly 365 million miles to scientists on Earth. But say those same scientists wanted to host a video conference to show off their work. They'd probably need to call IT to have them set up video and a 15-digit dial-in that might not even work. At Vonage, we think it's about time business communications caught up. See what Vonage can do for your business at vonage.com/it'saboutTime.
Our 2016 iHeartRadio Music Festival is now music history. 20 of the biggest artists in the world, 2 nights on one stage in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Britney Spears. Georgia Line. Give it up.
Now, experience the festival on television and get an exclusive look backstage on a 2-part CW broadcast special.
The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.
Traffic looking good around Decatur this morning. No problems around Athens, around Madison. No problems on the interstate, the Parkway. Highway 72 looking good as well. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
In places around the world, there are elders who long for community, connection, and the opportunity to live with greater dignity. Sponsor an elder through Unbound and help bring a brighter tomorrow to one person who has helped us all build a better world. Meet one at unbound.org.
The Train Comfort Specialist. He's so reliable that buses set their schedules to him. Once, he was the best man for a guy he didn't even know. He's never used a snooze button. the unstoppable train comfort specialist. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
And now, with new technology to combat bacteria, viruses, and allergens, will be even harder to stop. I'm Bo Thomas, and I am your train comfort specialist. Call Thomas HVAC today, 256-858-4822, or go to coolhuntsville.com.
Speed limit 55. Right turn only. Exit here. With some signs, it's clear what you're supposed to do. But heart attack warning signs aren't always this obvious. They can feel like arm pain, nausea, dizziness, shortness of breath, fatigue. If you experience the warning signs, call 911 and know that you can count on the accredited chest pain center at Crestwood Medical Center for nationally recognized heart care.
Locally family owned and operated for over 46 years, Bankston Motorhomes is your go-to place when looking for an RV. From travel trailers to fifth wheels to motorhomes, we've got it all. With locations in Huntsville on Jordan Lane, Albertville, Alabama, Florence, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee, and Ardmore, Tennessee, we are sure to have a location near you. Stop on by or browse our inventory online at bankstonmotorhomes.com.
Now, your official WBHP Weather Center forecast.
This report is brought to you by Boys and Girls Club of America.
I'm WHNT News 19 meteorologist Ben Smith. A warm afternoon, partly cloudy today with highs around 89. Tonight, mostly clear, lows in the upper 50s. On Friday, breezy and warm, highs around 88. It cools off this weekend, upper 70s, low 80s Saturday and Sunday. Of course, Matthew moving through the Bahamas now, headed toward Florida on Friday. Take my forecast at WBHP with you everywhere. Download the free iHeartRadio app at WBHPAM.com.
It's 3 p.m. School's out for America's kids. And when school's out, clubs are in. It's time to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Visit greatfutures.org.
Sunday on CNN, the second presidential debate.
Welcome, I'm Anderson Cooper. Thanks for joining us.
After an explosive first battle, Clinton and Trump return to the stage.
We will rise together because we are stronger together.
Just weeks before the election.
We will make America great again. Thank you.
Anderson Cooper moderates the second presidential debate. Live coverage starts Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CNN.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents a story about pickles.
It's 2 a.m. and your pregnant wife needs pickles. So you pick up some green happiness but accidentally hit a parked car. Great. Something else to worry about. Luckily, Liberty Mutual Insurance has 24/7 claims assistance, so you can take care of your claim right away. Problem solved. Now, if only you bought the right pickles.
Click the banner to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
Toni and Gary sound better in HD. Listen on your HD radio at 102.1 HD2.
Hi, I'm Russ. And I'm Andy. Last Resort Guns Basic Pistol course coming up soon.
Check us out at lastresortguns.com or give us a call at 256-774-5741.
Last Resort Guns. Is that happening tonight?
That is going on tonight at Last Resort Guns. We had Ed in here yesterday.
Yes.
He's the guy who's going to teach you that basic pistol course tonight. They call it the Level 1 Basic Pistol Course now. Then tomorrow, they have a couple of more slots left for the big Utah Concealed Carry course. That's tomorrow and Saturday.
Along with the knife.
Yeah, Saturday is a big day. So we have the Utah Concealed Carry course starts at 8:30 Saturday morning. Then we have a steel dual pistol event at 9. Then at 2 o'clock, we have Frank Fisher going to be doing the defensive knife fighting course. And then at 6 p.m., we have an intro to tactical low-light pistol course. And then another Frank Fisher course, the emergency first aid course. That's on Sunday.
That's important.
Huge weekend at Last Resort.
County Line Road in Madison. Okay, so the START Treaty, that new START Treaty 2011, where the United States and Russia agreed to reduce nuclear warheads.
Yeah, I don't think Russia has any more, do they?
To 1,500 warheads, 1,550 warheads each.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Guess what?
What?
Russia is pulling out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Officially?
Well, I don't know if it's officially, but it looks like they are.
Okay, fine.
So, because they've increased their nuclear warheads over the past 6 months.
Right.
And we have decreased ours.
Now, who told you that was going to happen? We did.
We did.
We said, well, we'll decrease, but they'll increase. And now here we are 4 years, 5 years later.
And I go back to what I said earlier, that this president wants America diminished.
Yeah. He doesn't want America to be the superpower of the world.
He wants us to be down there somewhere.
Yeah.
He hates America.
He does.
During the same period of time, the 6-month period, the U.S. cut our nuclear warheads by 114, increasing the disparity between Russia and the U.S. So Russia's warhead increases since 2011 suggest they don't intend to cut their forces.
Apparently not.
They're not going to cut their nukes. And they're going to abandon the New START arms accord as part of their major buildup. Now, at the same time, the Obama administration is continuing, even though they're seeing this happen, they're continuing a program of unilateral nuclear disarmament.
So what happened was, that was signed by Medvedev, wasn't it? Before Putin came back in.
Maybe.
Yeah, because remember, it was Medvedev that Obama said, just let me get reelected.
Yes.
And then we can do all kinds of things. Yeah, so Putin come in and said, nah, we're not starting on that.
No start for us. So since the treaty went into force in 2011, Moscow has increased its total warhead stockpile from 1,537 warheads to 1,796, an increase of 259 warheads. By contrast, the Obama administration has cut U.S. nuclear forces by 433. So we've cut ours by 433, and they've increased theirs by 259.
Great.
Now,
of course, it only takes one, right?
Now, it only takes one, yes. But you might need a few, depending on how many things are going on.
Depending on how bad of a shot you are.
Air Force General John Hayton, Hyten, Hayton, the nominee to be the next commander of the U.S. Strategic Command, warned the Senate during a hearing last month that Russia was modernizing both its strategic and tactical nuclear weapons.
And they're doing that after they forced Obama to shut down the shield up there, too.
That's right.
Remember that?
That's right.
What was it, in Poland?
In Poland.
Yeah.
Now, under the New START treaty, the United States and Russia again agreed to reduce all their warheads. And now it looks like Russia is even deploying land-based and submarine-launched missiles and bombers. They were supposed to be cut to 700. And missile launchers and non-deployed heavy bombers were supposed to be reduced to 800. But while we are old and in need of modernization, Russian forces are being modernized. By 2020, nuclear missile submarines, land-based missiles, and bombers will be modernized with 70% of the nuclear forces replaced with advanced systems. By 2020, that's 4 years. So, and they went on to say that with or without the New START treaty, Russian deployed warheads are likely to increase by 3,000 by 2030. So here we are reducing. They are, and we're selling our uranium to the Russians, right?
Yeah.
Uranium 1. Thank you, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton.
You just have it. By the way, I have it on good authority that about a month ago, for 2 or 3 weeks in Poland, the United States military engaged in some activity to flex our muscles and show Russia what we could do if we had a leader that would allow us to do it. I don't know if Obama knew we were doing it or not, but I know it happened.
Yeah, because people over there.
And the Russians were invited to watch.
Yeah. Well, if they put up the shields all through there, what used to be the USSR,
right.
Then that would make him think twice.
Yeah, it would.
We'll be right back. We got to take a break.
I
On your smartphone, download the free iHeartRadio app and listen anywhere in the U.S.
And listen on your computer free anywhere in the world.
And we're on HD Radio 102.1-2. And don't forget to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Toni and Gary.
It's the morning show with Toni and Gary on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
Glenn Beck.
The world's going to change. Best thing you can do is get a serious dog. A serious dog.
Yeah, I got 2 pugs, yeah.
Not talking about a giant rat. Not like some bizarre Barbara Bush in miniature.
No.
It's like if Barbara Bush, Winston Churchill had a dog child, what would it look like? A post dog.
Glenn Beck. Weekdays 8 to 11. WBHP.
Hello, Americans. I'm Todd Starnes with this Fox News and Commentary next.
Is the recession really over? Is a bigger one on the way? Will our next president lead us to prosperity and peace, or will it all fall apart? Be wise and be ready with 25-year shelf life Wise Food Storage. Try it free. Order a no-obligation free sample meal delivered right to your front door. And for a limited time, get a 10% discount and free shipping on all orders. Call for your free sample now. 800-775-9353. 800-775-9353.
The Cornell School District in Pennsylvania is defending a group of cheerleaders who insulted and humiliated a group of military war heroes, including a man who served in World War II. The heroes were part of a VFW color guard at the Friday night football game. The cheerleaders decided to take a knee. The anti-American urchins sat on their pom-poms. The school board says it's a matter of free speech, but it's really a matter of shaming war veterans and spitting on our nation. It's important for you to hear about these kinds of attacks on America. You need to know that this could be happening in your local town. For years, many of our public schools have been teaching our children to hate our country. We have a president who believes we are not a most exceptional nation, and these protests are the fruit of their efforts. Treachery is afoot across the fruited plain, my friend. I'm Todd Starnes.
Whether you want to travel on-road, off-road, or off the grid, we've got you covered. When you want the best protection from everything Mother Nature can throw at you, we've got that covered too. If you want high-quality truck bed liners and accessories designed to endure the elements and last a lifetime, ask for Line-X spray-on protective coatings and travel on. Don't just protect it, Line-X it. Stop by Line-X today and see what's possible.
Call Line-X of Huntsville today at 721-1331.
If you've heard of WeatherTech floor liners, you probably know that for your vehicle's floor, nothing protects better. But what about protection for the rest of your car or truck? I'm David McNeil, founder of WeatherTech. Besides our floor liners, we design, engineer, and manufacture a wide range of automotive accessories right here in America. And just like our floor liners, everything is done to the highest standards possible. We understand what kind of investment owning a vehicle can be, so we do everything possible to help you protect it. We don't take shortcuts, and we never make concessions when it comes to quality. For everything from cargo liners to cleaning and detailing supplies, to mud flaps and car covers, the one place you need to go is WeatherTech.com. So if you are familiar with our floor liners, just imagine how well the rest of our products will work for you. Learn more about our full line of automotive accessories at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech.com. Proudly made in America.
Never thought of yourself as a hero? That's what you'll be for a child in poverty when you become a sponsor with Compassion International. To find out how you can release a child from poverty right now, go to compassion.com/radio.
Say good morning to Mary Lawrence, Sonoma's Mortgage, First Commercial Bank. All right, Mary, so tell me about first-time homeowners.
Well, when you haven't owned a home before, you want to ask questions. So it's nice to be able to go to someone local and ask questions. For a first-time home buyer, the big thing is to find out how much they can afford. And then the second thing is to have that pre-approval letter so when they make their offer, it'll be accepted.
Explain to everybody what a pre-approval letter is.
A pre-approval letter takes your income and the bills that you currently owe, work those numbers together and find out how much home you can afford.
And that makes it easy. That way, when you go to look for a home, you know what your price range is, right?
Right. And you don't waste time looking for things or being frustrated about not being able to buy something you've looked at. So you start out at the right place.
Now, a lot of people now will not even take a bid on a home unless you have a pre-approval letter.
Realtors want it, homeowners want it. If you're buying my house, I want to know that you can buy it before I take it off the market.
Call Mary Lawrence today on her cell phone, 256-755-1008. All loans subject to credit approval. Rates and fees subject to change. NMLS number 180085.
There is a significant difference between being slightly out of tune or perfectly in tune. If your financial plan is even slightly out of tune, you may be paying too much for taxes, exposing yourself to too much risk, or retiring without a sound income plan. Is your financial plan out of tune? Listen to WBHP The Big Talker, Saturdays at 10 a.m. to Financially Tuned with Don Cloud of Cloud Financial to get your financial future in tune.
The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
New problem on the Parkway. Watch for a crash on the Parkway southbound just after Maston Lake Road. No problems on 565. Right now it's a good ride on 431 around Big Cove. So far no delays around Decatur or Athens. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. MAD is here to help. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. That's MADD.org.
Say good morning to Keith Pinkerton. He is Mr. Electric. Now, Keith, every month we have severe weather in the Tennessee Valley. Power outages, a big problem. But you can help stop that.
That is correct. We can actually come in and install a whole house generator that automatically senses when the power goes off, takes you off the utility grid, and turns on the generator and powers up your house during a power outage. And when power comes back on, it senses it and shuts down the generator and puts you back on the utility grid.
And another important feature with Mr. Electric is making sure you're safe at home.
We actually have a home safety inspection, electrical home safety inspection that we do when we come out to your house, and and we inspect your whole electrical system, and we educate you about your electrical system, and if we see any code violations or anything that needs to be addressed, we'll give you a free upfront quote.
Call Mr. Electric today at 1-888-536-8119.
Glenn Beck, mornings 8 to 11.
I'm telling you, you will laugh, you will cry, you will feel, you will freak out.
WBHP.
I'm Chris Haley with Haley's Flooring and Interiors and Liberty Safes, and we will be giving away a Liberty Tactical Gun Safe, an $1,100 value. Listen for details.
The Toni and Gary SEC Football Pick'em Contest. Find out more online at ToniandGary.com and listen weekdays 5 to 8 a.m. here on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
Welcome back to the morning show. Okay, what are we giving away?
$40 for Popeye's Cajun Fried Chicken. Movie passes for two at Hollywood 18. Family 4-pack to the Botanical Gardens. $20 from Dunkin' Donuts, Huntsville and Madison. And today is Big Prize Giveaway Thursday, so we've added $100 to Nick's Ristorante on South Bailey Cove in Huntsville.
And a day pass to the range at Last Resort Guns, County Line Road in Madison.
All you have to do is call us. At the end of the show, we'll draw from all the people who have called in, and that person wins.
534-3521 and 309-2313.
And we've added prizes. We have a pair of tickets to see Bill Engvall in concert at the VBC. Here's your sign, guy. Mm-hmm. We have passes for golf at Point Mallard's Championship Course, family 4-pack to Tate Farms, as well as all the other prizes. One person wins it all. Phone numbers are
256-534-3521 and 309-2313.
All right, we still have 3 answers left. Something an occupation a kid might think is heroic or brave. All right, Let's go to the phone and talk to Ricky. Hey, Ricky.
Hey, good morning, Tony. Good show already this morning.
Well, thank you.
Tony, I asked all the people in your listening area if we'd pray for the people in Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral this morning. We've got a lot of friends down there.
Yes.
This community in Huntsville works closely with them down there, and we just want to pray that everybody be safe during this hurricane and there won't be no damage to the people that we know down there.
You know, while we were in Florida this last week, of course I was keeping an eye out, but my daughter spent one afternoon, drove over to Cocoa Beach and spent the afternoon there. And it's scary to think that this hurricane could go up the entire coast. I mean, it's not like it's hitting one city, coming ashore, hitting one city. I mean, it's skirting the entire coast. There's a lot of people over there. And you're right, especially with Cape Canaveral.
The outer bands, I'm looking at the radar now, outer bands of Hurricane Matthew already moving on to shore at Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Tropical storm force winds already being seen on the coastline.
Very sad.
Yeah. A lot of good people down there. We just don't want to forget them.
That's right. You're right. Thank you, Ricky.
Okay.
You have a great day. And Glenda. Hey, Glenda.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
I will have to admit that I was wondering about that hurricane. I was looking at something last night, and it shows that it was, like you said, it's coming in on the east side over there on Florida, and going up. But it also looked like that it would affect the whole of Florida, like all the way across. Is that true or not? Because like I said, I was just looking at something other, like a picture and so forth.
Yeah, they have a cone, and so the eye itself is going to stay offshore, but there's a wide area that I think probably goes to the middle of Florida. I don't think it goes all the way over to the Gulf side.
No.
Okay.
But
they just updated that.
In that area, they're going to have high winds, could have tornadoes, storm surge, a lot of rain.
As a matter of fact, I have it pulled up here. They have a hurricane warning in some of those areas, tropical storm warning in others. Squall lines are going to come through, and that's what's hitting Miami and Fort Lauderdale right now. Tropical storm force winds and isolated tornadoes possible, and that's throughout.
And that is consistent with hurricanes. It's not just the hurricane. There's.
Oh yeah. It's sped off them tornadoes for sure.
That's for sure.
The reason I was concerned with that picture that I was looking at last night when it was showing it coming that it was going to have an effect, all the way across, was because one of my daughters had went down for vacation down into the Panama City, and I'm going like, wait a minute, that thing is showing that it's. I was concerned about the idea of the spin off of rough weather.
The rough weather will be to the right of the.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to remember.
Yes, it's to the right. The rough weather's to the right, calmer weather to the left.
And the most benign on the left, yeah.
All right, Glenda, got to go. You hang in there, okay?
Okay, yeah, have a great day. Bye.
And Al, hey, Al.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
I completely agree with you. Obama, it's like he wants to, I believe he wants to make us more vulnerable as a nation, both foreign and domestically.
Yes.
From defense standpoint, the Black Lives Matter thing, he's made my mama, when he came in 2008, 2009, when he took office, my mama thought, well, he'll make the race problem better, because that's what he campaigned on. He made it worse. He's made it a ton worse.
He has made it worse.
So many things he could have done with the Black Lives Matter thing, and but he not only did he exacerbate the race problem, but he also tried to he basically stood apart from law enforcement, which is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Economically, $20 trillion, you can't recover from $20 trillion, and culturally, bathroom stuff, but it's just awful.
It is, you're right.
Yeah, but Hillary Clinton, it's not, this isn't talked about, but Hillary Clinton wants to tax. It's not sexy to talk about taxes too much, but it's. I hope he brings up the fact that she wants to tax your 401k while it is dormant. It's supposed to be gathering interest and that kind of thing, but it's supposed to be sacrosanct from the government touching it. She wants to pierce that veil and tax your 401k while it's in the growing phase.
Well, let me say
the whole idea.
There's no Democrats want to tax every bit of your life, every aspect of your life,
over and over,
or they will fine you, and then they want to tax you when you're dead. So,
yeah, that's true. And Trump wants to eliminate the death tax, which I like. But one tax that Hillary's going to hit us with, and you mentioned it, that doesn't get talked about, and that's the carbon tax.
Yeah,
she will push a carbon tax, and she's already made noises like that. She's just going to take Obama's legacy and triple it. It's going to be awful.
It will be awful, and people need to remember that. They need to get out and vote.
Yeah.
Thank you, Al.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Miss Toni and Gary? Listen to our podcast, free anytime, day or night.
And check out our blog at tonyandgary.com with links to the podcast, email, iHeartRadio, listen online, and all the latest stories and video.
And like us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Toni and Gary.
It's The Morning Show with Toni and Gary on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America.
New problem on the Parkway. Watch for a crash on the Parkway southbound just after Maston Lake Road. No problems on 565. Right now it's a good ride on 431 around Big Cove. So far, no delays around Decatur or Abilene. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
More than 1 in 3 American kids has lead in their blood. No level of lead is safe. Lead poisoning causes learning disabilities and behavioral disorders. Has your child been tested? Learn more at leadsafeamerica.org.
Let's see. Get a root canal. I go to the car dealer to buy a new car.
Paging Dr. Bender.
Given the choice, a lot of people would probably go for the root canal. It doesn't have to be that way.
I'm Jerry Reynolds, the Car Pro. Think of me like your family doctor, treating the way you look at buying a car.
Go to carprousa.com. Then listen this weekend.
Saturdays noon to 3 and Sundays 9 to 11 a.m. on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
The sizzle of a steak on the grill. The crashing of waves on the beach. And whatever that is. At iHeartMedia, we've harnessed the power of sound in a way that can help you expand your reach to a new group of target customers and grow your business through customized and effective advertising. Big or small, local, regional, or looking to go national, our iHeartMedia consultants are ready to help. Call 844-BUY-RADIO or go to iHeartMedia.com.
Catch PRN's Fast Talk live tonight at 8 on the Valley's Big Talker, 800 and 1230 WBHP.
I'm Kerry Rosenblum with Rosenblum Realty, and we'd like to make that dream of homeownership a reality for you in 2016. Give us a call at 256-539-9501 or rosenblumrealty.com.
He can make it happen for you. He can. Kerry Rosenblum. All right, let's go to the phone and talk to Lee. Hey, Lee.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
I listened to the tracks of the hurricanes the last week or so, and then I think you guys had a news segment at the bottom of the hour. President Obama talking about climate change and how important that was for the future of the nation. Mm-hmm. And you see all the spaghetti tracks that are all over the place on the Weather Channel. And, we can't predict a hurricane that's pretty, we know how they work fairly well. We can't predict it a week out, yet, the man can stand up there and tell us that we're destroying the planet. 100 years from now, everything's going to be gone.
Well, he's smarter than the rest of us, Lee. You didn't know that?
Well, and let me say this. They never say that. They never say that in 100 years, if we don't do something, something might happen. They make it sound...
Well, Al Gore used to, but he stopped.
Well, Al Gore said in 7 years, we would be done. And that was, 5 years ago?
Right.
So...
So, I mean, it's just ludicrous to think that the man actually controls anything on this planet. It's a total in your face to any kind of religious belief whatsoever.
Remember, it's about the money. It's all about the money. The people who are the money that they're going to tax us to pay for this, the American people, they're going to give to the UN to disperse.
Right.
It's all about the money.
And they're going to use it against this country.
Exactly. It's all about the money.
Yeah, It is. I just thought that was kind of funny. Listen to the president, gloom and doom, and can't get a hurricane right.
You hit the nail on the head. All right. Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
You too. And T. Hey, T.
Hey, Miss Toni.
Hey.
Got a good show this morning. Been listening to you. Had some good analysis of everything that's going on. But I'm like the other guy just called in, praying for them people down there in Florida because it's bad weather down there. I know saying last night the LSU team wasn't going to take their band to Gainesville because
they're
having enough security to cover them down there and everything. and Georgia's supposed to be going down to South Carolina, and they might not get to play that one at all, but they thought like they might start that game in Gainesville, but they're going to be playing in some high winds and all, 25, 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that
will get qualified, and I heard Trump's man was on
Pence.
John Hannity's show again last night, and he was telling he was in Pennsylvania campaigning again yesterday. But Trump's coming up the ladder. I think he's going to win it. But I'll keep up the good work, and I'm going to give you a roll tide. I'm getting ready to watch football Saturday, I hope. And right now I got to get beauty queens to the beauty shop here this morning, and I got a doctor's appointment in Huntsville this evening.
All right, T, you have a good one, okay? Yeah. If I were, a lot of people were going to Disney for fall break, and they had to cancel their trips.
Go to the mountains.
Well,
so pretty this time of year.
It is.
Mm-hmm. I got something about Obamacare to tell you about.
Really?
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-788-0662 now. That's 800-788-0662 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-788-0662 to learn more. 800-788-0662. That's 800-788-0662. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Hi, I'm Nick Jonas, and I'm here to tell you about Think It Up, a new initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join us at thinkitup.org.
So why do people drive from all over the Southeast to Eddie Pruitt Ford?
Tremendous savings on new Ford cars and trucks, crossovers, and SUVs.
Right now, great buys at Eddie Pruitt Ford. Great incentives from Ford Motor Company as well as from Eddie Pruitt himself. And he's got those program vehicles with still under factory warranty mileage on them at Eddie Pruitt Ford, and you can save thousands and thousands of dollars. And at Eddie Pruitt Ford, every new Ford comes with a powertrain lifetime warranty. You heard me right. A lifetime powertrain warranty with every new Ford sold at Eddie Pruitt Ford. So do like I do and have been doing for years. I head over to Hartselle, Alabama, Highway 31 and do business with my friend Eddie Pruitt. And you'll do it too because he'll treat you right at Eddie Pruitt Ford, Highway 31, Hartselle.
This is WBHP Huntsville, WHOS Decatur, and WDRM FM HD2 Decatur, an iHeart radio station.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Thousands of people have checked into shelters across Florida ahead of Hurricane Matthew, which has killed dozens of people in Haiti alone.
The eye wall coming very close to West Palm Beach. We don't know if it's going to make a landfall yet, but coming so close as a major hurricane. They have not had a major hurricane in Florida hit the shores in a decade.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean, Matthew now battering the Bahamas. Details out on the man accused of stealing classified documents from the National Security Agency.
The FBI arresting Harold Thomas Martin of Maryland. A Justice Department criminal complaint says he could have caused exceptionally grave danger to national security. A defense attorney for Martin says he did not intend to betray his country. A motive is still unclear. The 51-year-old worked for Booz Allen Hamilton.
Fox Radio's Tom Graham. Fox News. We report. You decide.
Our 2016 iHeartRadio Music Festival is now music history. 20 of the biggest artists in the world, 2 nights on one stage in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Britney Spears, Florida Georgia Line. Give it up!
Now, experience the festival on television and get an exclusive look backstage on a 2-part CW broadcast special.
The The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.
There's a problem on the Parkway, a crash on the Parkway southbound just after Maston Lake Road. Heading over Chapman Mountain, looking good. No problems on 431 around Big Cove this morning. If you're on 565, so far no delays yet. We're not spotting any problems around Decatur or Athens. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at unbound.org. You know, if you're buying a home in the Tennessee Valley, you already know how important it is that you have a real estate agent with experience in the area. But did you know it's also important to have experience when you're selling your home? Carrie Rosenblum of Rosenblum Realty tells us why. Carrie?
Gary, it's very true. When you go out to sell a home, it's more than just driving sign up out in front of your yard and waiting on the buyer to walk through the door or your phone to ring. What we'll do is try to give you detailed and intelligently price your home. It's very important to be in the market and also to have the proper condition and placement of advertising that needs to be done. So we'll educate you on what we will do to help get the right kind of marketing done on your home to help those days on market to be fewer for you. The longer it stays on the market is not an advantage for a seller, so we will be able to look at the market on a weekly basis, make those adjustmts. Call us at Rosenblum Realty, 539-9501, or come to us on the web at rosenblumrealty.com, and we'll help you sell your home.
Carrie Rosenblum with Rosenblum Realty.
Gary Dobbs here talking with Stuart Tanksley of Pro Fence of the Tennessee Valley. Stuart, tell us what you do.
We build just about any kind of fence you want within reason, obviously. We try to ensure that our customers get what they pay for and they get the best value. I like to sell people on quality instead of price, but there's an old adage that says, you get what you pay for. And, that's something that we're proud to stand behind. We build a better quality product by taking extra steps and extra measures that we don't charge extra for. And, being a small business versus some of our competitors, we don't have the huge overhead.
And with lower overhead, you can pass that savings along to your customers. So give ProFence a call. Talk to Stuart Tanksley. The number is 584-0092. That's 256-584-0092. If you want a fence built right and you want to save money, you need to be talking to ProFence.
This is Gary Sullivan. Hope you'll join me in a little home improvement talk this Sunday afternoon at 3 here on WBHP.
Hey, this is Bo Thomas with Thomas HVAC Company. It's football season. That means I'll be giving away $100 in cash to one Toni and Gary listener each week.
The Toni and Gary SEC Football Pick'em Contest. Find out more online at ToniandGary.com and listen weekdays 5 to 8 a.m. here on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
I remember when rock was young. 7:05 on the morning show. We'll talk about football here in a second.
Football.
But big happenings at the Botanical Gardens.
Yeah, that's amazing. They've had a huge week this week. They've been doing a lot of fall break stuff. Today, for instance, they've got the Scarecrow Craft Hour, where you're going to build your own scarecrow. That's pretty cool. But the big thing is their 7th annual fall plant. That starts tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and it's going to be tomorrow and Saturday. Both days start at 9 o'clock. The big fall plant sale starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow, goes till 5, and 9 to 5 on Saturday. They have a rain day here, but I can tell you we won't have to worry about the rain. So 9 to 5 both today and tomorrow. Also, Saturday morning, those of you who need a little mulch, well, they're giving away mulch over at the Huntsville Botanical Gardens. They got the mulch giveaway. Going to have to get there early, though, 8 o'clock Saturday morning if you need some free mulch.
You know, the plant sales at the Botanical Gardens are one of the biggest events in the Tennessee Valley. They are.
That's where you get the best plants, that's for sure.
Yep. Okay, so before we get to the phone, let's talk about the polls.
Let's.
You know my favorite thing to talk about, polls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know which one is my favorite poll, right?
The Q poll?
The
Or the
Mon
month, okay.
Yeah, the cheater poll.
The cheater. the outlier. Right?
Yes, the cheating poll, the 1 month poll. That's the one that all the media use, is the cheating poll.
Well, they use whichever one fits their agenda at the moment.
Well, that's true.
But the Monmouth poll has been their go-to.
Their go-to.
Yeah.
So, of course, it has Clinton up in Ohio by 2. Trump had been up by like 4 or 5, but now it has Clinton up in Ohio by 2. So just to prove a point, you have to go into the internals and find out who they polled. And this is the amazing thing, is every time we look inside the internals of the 1 month poll, we see the same thing.
Yeah,
so think about it.
Trump won before they weighted it, I bet.
So we have 325 million people in the country, and they polled 450 people. 28% Republican, 32% Democrat, 40% independent, but they don't say which way they lean, because with independent voters, they either lean Republican or they lean Democrat, but they don't say that. 40% were independent.
Wow.
47% male and 53% female. That makes a difference because more males are voting for Trump. And so what they come up with is a 4.9% error of margin. So that's almost 5% error of margin.
That's huge.
Margin of error, rather.
Yeah.
And with all of that, with 28% Republican, 40% independent, we don't know which way they lean, 32% Democrat, more women than men, and they've got Trump, they have Clinton up by 2 with all of that.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, that's what they had to do to get that.
So let me ask you this philosophical question, Tony. So everybody says Trump has trouble with women voters.
Yep.
They're also saying that Hillary Clinton has trouble with women voters.
Yes.
Well, who are they voting for?
Well,
Gary Johnson?
Well, I think that is
or is
not
that trumped up?
Yeah, I think so. 53% of women are saying they'll vote for Hillary. Well, that should be 80% of women if it's about voting for a woman.
Right.
Yeah. They don't like her either.
No.
Young people don't like her.
No.
We played, we may not have played that clip yesterday from MSNBC where they asked the crowd of young women.
No, we didn't play it.
If they liked Hillary Clinton, and they said no, so.
Yeah, they weren't expecting that reaction, by the way. Or else they wouldn't have. That goes back to show you never ask a question.
It does.
You don't know the answer to.
You don't know the answer to. That's every time I interview Congressman Brooks, I already know the answer.
Yeah, well.
And if he gives me a different answer, then I have to challenge him on it. But he knows that. You know what? We were talking about that during the break. I challenge him a lot. And I never give questions to anybody that we're interviewing.
No.
Because I really don't know what I'm going to ask. I mean, I have a couple of topics.
Right, you have some questions ready, probably, but it depends on what he says.
On what they answer. And that's where a lot of people go wrong when they interview people. Wolf Blitzer is the worst at that. He'll ask a question. He doesn't even hear the answer.
They just stick to their little points.
Then he asks the next question, which the guy just answered.
Well,
and it's like, you're not listening.
Well, the difference with Wolf Blitzer is he probably has a script that the DNC sent him.
Oh, probably, that's true. But some people are worse at it. It depends on how you answer the question. That's where you get your next question.
Sure.
How they've answered the one prior.
Do y'all think I had the first question ready for Mo Brooks when he called in Thursday with all I had going on? Nope. I just shot from the hip.
Just start talking.
I knew the issues. See, that's the difference.
They don't know.
They don't know what's really going on.
No, they don't.
But I knew the issues.
It's whatever their producers give them.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank goodness Mayor Finley was here to help.
Yes.
And then I closed up with that good zinger, that quick right hand to the cheek, and he answered it.
And he does answer all our questions, I have to admit.
He really does.
All right, we'll get back to trivia here in a second. Let's go to the phone and talk to Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, friend.
Hey.
Hey, welcome to Disney World, the home of Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Matthew.
Yeah. Whew.
And isn't it sad, all those people that are going to Disney World?
Yeah, and there were a lot of them going this week.
We've got friends that are on a Disney cruise right now. They're supposed to be returning to Port Canaveral on Friday, but
that's not happening.
I don't see that happening.
I wonder where they are now.
I have no idea, Corey. We've all wondered that.
While we were down there, the local news down there was talking about how people who were leaving on cruises weren't going to the Bahamas. They were going to, like, Key West, or they were going somewhere in Mexico.
In the Gulf somewhere?
Yeah, they weren't they weren't going where they had paid.
Like well, Key West is awful close.
I wouldn't be going to Key West.
No, I wouldn't
you know
either.
what?
Yeah, I'd want to go a little bit more toward Mexico.
I wouldn't be getting on a cruise ship.
No, I wouldn't either.
With something else.
Miss Tony, y'all were talking about Russia. Y'all were talking about Russia earlier, and of course, we were scaling down our warhead count, and they're increasing theirs. But if there's ever a nuclear conflict, there will be no winners, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. No.
And I would suspect that if Russia was going to attack us, it would be a sneak attack, from submarines or something. It wouldn't be from their land over there.
You're right. And we have had reports of several of Russian submarines off our coast.
Sure.
So they're close. They're out there.
And I think the shield over there, and of course, someone that's smarter than me can correct me, but I think the shield would be effective for like a long state or something. But as far as a mass attack, the shield's not going to do anything.
I think the shield was to protect the threat for Poland and some of the other countries that broke off from the USSR.
It really was for them, yeah.
It was for them. And also, if Russia decided to, do something in Europe, they'd have that. Yeah. It was a deterrent that, look, you can do it, but you won't live through it.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can stop you one way or the other.
It was kind of like a gang member flashing their gun, saying, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I need to confess and repent, Miss Tony.
Uh-oh.
I went to CNN and I was reading an article at CNN, and I knew I should not have. But talking about that woman and how she's hibernating, for a few days before the big election. Of course, they were talking about how she's up in all the polls, and after that, she got a huge bounce after the debate, and it's pretty much over. And it's like, are you kidding me? What kind of world is CNN living in?
So you can't listen. Let me do the research on CNN for you, because
I appreciate that. That will help my blood pressure quite a bit.
Yeah, and we've had several people say the same thing, that they had switched over, and it was like, who are these people? The LA Times tracking poll, which is the poll that I like, only because they were the only ones that also nailed it for Obama in 2012.
What are they showing?
They're showing Trump +4, and the tracking. What the tracking poll does is it's a 5-day poll, and so they add today and they take off the oldest day, so that it just keeps adding one.
It's a rolling poll.
It's a rolling poll.
Yep.
Now, I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the election. I have no idea if he's going to win or she's going to win or who's going to win. But I'll give you a great example. Did you have the dictionary lady up there?
I do.
All right, play it for us.
Well, this actually happens to be a gentleman.
A gentleman? Okay. I want you to hear the definition of this word, or the pronunciation. I meant, not definition.
Okay.
Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
It's Nevada.
What?
It's Nevada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Nevada. What did he say, Nevada?
No, he said Nevada.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did say Nevada. Okay.
Yeah, Nevada. All right, so the big controversy now, and this goes to what you're talking about. This is why you want to pull your
There's
hair
a
out.
controversy over how you say Nevada?
Because Trump said
Nevada.
Yeah. And you call it Nevada.
I say it 2 or 3 different ways.
And some people do call it Nevada, but it's Nevada.
Okay.
Now, so Harry Reid and the Democrats and the Clinton administration.
Are they complaining?
They're complaining that he has
That's
no
all
clue.
they have, though, Miss Tony.
That he needs
come on.
That he needs to come down off his out of his penthouse
and learn how to say
Nevada.
Nevada.
How to say Nevada. I lived in Nevada. A lot of people there said Nevada. I didn't.
Yeah. How is the pronunciation of Nevada part of this presidential election?
Well, because Harry Reid and Hillary Clinton are they want to talk about anything.
Harry Reid's brother needs to knock him out.
They're trying to make mountains out of molehills. I've said that in the past recently.
On everything. No matter what he says.
Do you know what you call it? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead, Jeff.
When Mr. Trump gets up by 15 points in the polls, you know what you call that?
What?
It's a Pollock.
A Pollock. Good grief.
I'm sorry, that's not my best material. That was a Hester original.
No, I think Jeff used all his best material last week.
I think I did. I used it all on Monday and last week. But I am looking forward to going in the gardens. You were talking about that. That is a fantastic place to go and visit, and especially care of the family.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Jeff.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, so I noticed that, there's been numerous reports across the country now about these creepy clowns, and they're saying that could be terrorism because they're terrorizing people.
Well, yeah.
Yep. And then there was a report.
Not radical Islamic terrorism.
Right.
Just
terrorism.
regular old day-to-day terrorism.
So there was a report on one of the campuses of Penn State that about 500 students began a campus-wide search
for a clown?
For this guy dressed up as a clown.
Good grief.
I mean, it's either a clown or it's get tired of Pokemon Go or whatever.
Right, that's
but
right.
now, and this is the point, now it looks like clowns are fighting back. Like Ringling Brothers clowns.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, real clowns. Yeah.
And now
I
they
heard someone call them jesters the other day.
and now they have banners that say "Clown Lives Matter." So, all right. One other thing before we get to football:
Poor
Carolina
clowns.
Panthers quarterback Cam Newton being sued.
Oh.
For allegedly doing $100,000 worth of damage to a rental mansion. Now,
just fix it, Cam, dude. Come on, you got the money.
I don't have any other, I always hate to do Cam Newton stories because of that one time
we
I got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. That he had gotten in a wreck and he was smoking pot and blah, blah, blah. And that came from the police station
it did.
in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And then they had to backtrack on that. It's like, wow, you mean you can't believe a police report?
Right.
One other,
he was knocked out of the game on.
Yeah, he was.
Whatever day
I
it
watched
was.
that.
Well, he had I don't know if they for sure said he had a concussion or not, but he got a bump on the head.
They were doing concussion therapy or whatever protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Utah couple charged $39.95 for being allowed to hold their newborn after delivery.
What?
Yes.
Charged to hold them?
The hospital charged them $39.95 for being allowed to hold their newborn after the baby was born.
Okay, well, first of all, when you say $39.95 and you talk about hospitals, is that $40 or nearly $4,000?
That's $40.
Okay.
Not $4,000.
Still,
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And now you can buy a candle that reproduces the smell of a new Apple MacBook.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I'll just take your word for it because I don't know what that smells like.
If you're loving your apple so much,
good grief,
they have to have a candle with the smell.
Right.
Time to go see a couch.
Have you seen? There are new, not bus ads, but you know how like in New York they put ads on the bus stop. Covers. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a new Trump ad that's out, and it's an apple. And over on the right where the chunk would be, the bite would be taken out if it were talking about an Apple iPhone. It's actually, the bite looks like Trump's face. It's pretty cool. I'll have to try to find it and post it for you.
Really?
It's
okay.
It's a pretty cool little ad.
All right, let's go to Hazel. Hey, Hazel.
Good morning. I'm glad you're back.
Well, thank you.
And is one of your trivia questions a doctor?
Doctor's not on the list. So many good professions should be on the list. Good guess, Hazel.
Thought it might be.
Mm-hmm. You have a great day, okay?
Well, thank you.
All right, so it's name an occupation kids think are heroic, that kids think is heroic. Firefighter, number 1. Police officer, number 2. Astronaut, number 3. The next 3, to me, would not be heroic. They would be brave, maybe, but not heroic.
Right.
But that's just me. Let's go to Donald. Hey, Donald.
Good morning. How you doing there?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe an ambulance driver? I don't know.
Good guess. That's a good guess. Thank you, Donald.
Good guess.
Sorry.
Hey, I was going to ask you something else there. Who do you think? I missed the debate the other night. Who do you think done the best in that debate? 'Cause I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah, Pence won the debate hands down. There's no doubt about that. And all media, even CNN, and Pence won the CNN poll too.
Well, Pence says, or CNN said he narrowly won.
Narrowly won, yeah. Pence says that Trump won the debate. So.
Now, do what now?
Pence said that Trump's policies won the debate. And the next debate is Sunday night, so.
Didn't Clinton and Trump have another debate the other day? Also?
No, that's coming up this Sunday.
This Sunday, okay. Well, hey, well, y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.
You too. And Brian, hey, Brian.
Hey, good morning, folks. The UN getting that money to hand out to undeveloped countries, it'll never get out of the United Nations, and we have no oversight over them anyway.
No oversight, you're correct. No oversight.
If we use that money ourselves and hire private companies or even local companies, would at least have oversight over it.
Yeah, we're just going to hand over $500 billion to the UN. Like
and
I say,
all we're going to do is, Go ahead.
No, it's totally amazing that any money we get. I mean, we've already handed over the vetting of Syrian refugees to the UN. That's what this president wants. Everything to go through the UN. Not for us to be a country and do it ourselves. The UN goes and scouts out Syrian refugees, and then they say they vetted them, and then we bring them here. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. You know, it's amazing, Brian.
Yeah, and the poor people on the coast, that hurricane's reminding me of a weed eater where the hub is the eye, and it looks like it's just going to, the edges are going to, the hardest hitting part's going to roll right up the coast.
Yep.
So, want to say, I want to say God bless and hold these people well,
absolutely,
and help us help them.
Absolutely.
And I guess and that goes to your trivia question. I would say a brave and heroic person. I don't know if a kid would consider that. I would say a lot of our missionaries and our clergy that are doing mission work.
You know, we had that earlier, that guest earlier. I know you didn't hear it, but that absolutely, and it's not on the list.
Unfortunately, it's not on the list, Brian.
But you're absolutely right. That is a dangerous thing to do right now.
Well, y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Brian. We'll take a break. We'll be right back, huh?
Real quick. We vote November 8th, right?
Yes.
Open enrollment for Obamacare starts November 1st if they don't push it back.
November 1st.
November 1st. I got an email yesterday reminding me of that. Now, if they don't push it back, that could be an issue because we're going to see prices then.
Remember what they did in 2012? They pushed it to November 15th.
I know.
After the election.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So let's watch that. That'll be interesting.
We'll be right back.
Listen to Toni and Gary on your smartphone.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen anywhere in the U.S.
And we're on HD Radio 102.1-2. And don't forget to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Toni and Gary.
It's the morning show with Toni and Gary on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that you're probably driving right now. Sitting comfortably behind the wheel with a tasty caffeinated beverage in your cup holder. Well, if you were driving with Uber, you could be earning money right now too. That's because Uber is the ultimate side hustle. Extra cash whenever you want. Earning you can turn on and off, just like your car. This isn't just another job, it's a totally flexible way to earn. So go ahead, get your side hustle on. Visit uber.com/drive now. That's uber.com/drive now.
You're listening to the sound of an actual heart beating outside of a human body. Thanks to modern technology, a doctor can now keep a donor heart beating until it's ready to be transplanted into its recipient. Yet if our doctor wanted to transfer a phone call from her desk phone to her cell, she couldn't, because her phone system can't do that. At Vonage, we think it's about time business communications caught up. See what Vonage can do for your business at Vonage.com/it'sabouttime.
The Liosi Group has been taking care of your office needs for over 40 years. They've also been saving 95% of their customers' money and improving efficiency. In this economy, people don't want to think about buying office equipment, but the Liosi Group is reducing hard dollar cost for their customers. How? The machines do more and cost less. Lexmark copiers revolutionize how copies, prints, scans, and faxes are made. Don't be afraid to check into saving your company money. The Liosi Group is where you'll receive quality service guaranteed, response time guaranteed, and that means guaranteed satisfaction. Call the Liosi Group to start reducing your office costs today.
Service, extraordinary service.
Just ask anyone.
650-4150.
LIOCE.
LIOCE.
I'm Kerry Rosenblum with Rosenblum Realty, and it's football season again, and that means I'll be giving away $50 cash to one lucky Toni and Gary listener each week.
The Toni and Gary SEC Football Pick'em Contest. Find out more online at ToniandGary.com and listen weekdays 5 to 8 a.m. here on 800 and 1230 WBHP. The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by SOS Children's Villages.
Traveling on the Parkway, there was an earlier crash. The Parkway southbound after Maston Lake Road. It's out of the way now. So traffic moving okay there. We're not spotting any problems heading over Chapman Mountain or heading over the mountain on 431. No problems on 565. No big delays around Decatur or Athens. If you see traffic trouble, let us know. We'll pass it along. Our number is 877-811-3367. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
War, poverty, and disaster have left millions of children around the world orphaned, abandoned, alone. When their parents can't be there, SOS Children's Villages is there in 134 countries, including the U.S. To make a difference in a child's life, go to sosusa.org.
Guys, when it comes to grooming, we're no longer interested in discount chains and unisex salons. Men nowadays demand the warm, personal atmosphere of the barbershop of days gone by, while enjoying man-sized leather chairs, big-screen TVs, and a cold drink. Rooster's Men's Grooming Center has it all for you. They're located at 475 Providence Main Street in Huntsville. Give them a call at Rooster's Men's Grooming Center at 489-0886. If you're looking for one of the finest dining experiences in the Tennessee Valley, if you're looking for the best, absolute best steaks and the freshest seafood, look no further. Nick's Ristorante on Bailey Cove Road, south of Weatherly in Huntsville, is the place for you. Go by and see our buddy Nick and all the family there waiting to serve you with the best food that Huntsville has seen in years and years at Nick's Ristorante on Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly.
Maddie, what are you doing? How do you like the new sign? Sutton and Daughters Furniture? Does Daddy know about this? Well, we can't call it Sutton and Sons because we don't have any brothers. And besides, we've helped Daddy in the store practically since we were babies. Sutton and Daughters, that has a nice ring to it. Finally, some respect around here. Laren, this could be the start of a new trend. Either that or World War III.
The brands you trust, like Clayton Marcus and Craftmaster, at a price you'll love.
That's because Daddy said sell it.
Sutton Furniture.
Highway 72 in Athens.
Now, your official WBHP Weather Center forecast.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America.
I'm WHNT News 19 meteorologist Ben Smith. A warm afternoon, partly cloudy today with highs around 89. Tonight, mostly clear, lows in the upper 50s. On Friday, breezy and warm, highs around 88. It cools off this weekend, upper 70s, low 80s Saturday and Sunday. Of course, Matthew moving through the Bahamas now, headed toward Florida on Friday. Take my forecast at WBHP with you everywhere. Download the free iHeartRadio app at WBHPAM.com.
Do you live in a historic home? Are you renovating? Your children could be at risk of lead poisoning. It takes just a microscopic amount of lead dust to poison a child. Learn more at leadsafeamerica.org.
If you've heard of WeatherTech floor liners, you probably know that for your vehicle's floor, nothing protects better. But what about protection for the rest of your car or truck? I'm David McNeil, founder of WeatherTech. Besides our floor liners, we design, engineer, and manufacture a wide range of automotive accessories right here in America. And just like our floor liners, everything is done to the highest standards possible. We understand what kind of investment owning a vehicle can be, so we do everything possible to help you protect it. We don't take shortcuts, and we never make concessions when it comes to quality. For everything from cargo liners to cleaning and detailing supplies, to mud flaps and car covers, the one place you need to go is WeatherTech.com. So if you are familiar with our floor liners, just imagine how well the rest of our products will work for you. Learn more about our full line of automotive accessories at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech.com. Proudly made in America.
If money's tight at your house, find out how to achieve financial peace with Dave Ramsey. Weekdays 11 to 2 on WBHP.
I'm Stuart Tanksy with Pro Fence of the Tennessee Valley. Add value, beauty, and security with a new fence for your home or business. Call us at 256-584-0092 or visit us on the web at profencellc.com.
We love ProFence. We do. Stuart Tanksley, great guy. All right, trivia. We've got trivia out there, but I did want to talk about football just a moment. Make sure you get your picks in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't been involved in our football contest, go to our blog at tonyandgary.com. We have listed 4 games there for this week. LSU at Florida, Auburn at Mississippi State, Tennessee at Texas A&M, Alabama, Arkansas. Right under that, it says, click here to submit your picks. Tell us who you think's going to win by how many points. Make sure you put football picks in the subject line. Include your name and phone number so we can call you if you win. And then over the weekend, you have till Friday night at midnight, tomorrow night at midnight to get your picks in. And that's the cutoff. Corey will just figure it all out, and whoever comes closest wins $100 in cash from Bo Thomas, Thomas HVAC. Second place is $50 in cash from Carrie Rosenblum, Rosenblum Realty. All the entries go into the barrel at the end of the season. And it's on our blog. You can see it. It says Liberty Safe from Tactical Safe from Haley's Flooring and Interiors on Bob Wallace. They have a whole department full of safes. So if you want one for Christmas, you better order it now because they go quick.
Yeah.
But it's a $1,400 value with delivery within 45 miles, and it's huge. So get involved. You have till tomorrow night. Go to our blog at tonyandgary.com. And
just think about the fun you'll have filling that thing up.
Mm-hmm. All right, so a couple of things. Looks like ineligible aliens, that's what they're calling them now. Ineligible aliens voted in Philadelphia in recent years.
Ineligible.
Ineligible.
All right.
That would be illegal aliens voting is what that means in English.
I'm surprised they allowed them to use the term alien.
Oh,
even
me
with
too.
Ineligible.
Yeah, maybe undocumented person. Anyway, it looks like hundreds of them have been on the voting rolls. How do you get on the voting rolls? Well, in these cities that allow illegal aliens to have driver's licenses, it's the voter motor law from Clinton.
Yep.
That the second question they ask you is, do you want to register to vote? If you have a driver's license, a picture ID, you can register to vote. You don't have to show proof. You do not have to show proof that you're a citizen.
I got my license renewed just yesterday, and she asked me, "Are you registered to vote?"
Are you registered to vote?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
So here these people have driver's licenses, and that's what Democrats want. That's why Democrats push to give illegal immigrants what they say is, well, if they have a driver's license, they get insurance, and they hit somebody, then they're insured. That's all baloney. It's all about voting. It's Indiana. They have raided 15 different places now. Raided the offices of the Indiana Voter Registration Project. Fraud cases. They're signing up people who are not eligible to vote. Fake names, addresses, birth certificates. The state police detectives served a search warrant. Another one last night, but it's expanded now to 9 counties in Indiana. The voter fraud is horrendous. It really is. I don't know how you overcome that. And it's not Republican voter fraud. None of it.
Oh, it never
None
is.
of it.
Never is.
Let's go to Greg. Hey, Greg.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
How's it going?
You there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're here.
Hey, Dan. One of the guesses for the jobs would probably be a sanitation worker.
Well, that's heroic, I must say. You have to be heroic to do that job, yes.
Don't you know that Obama would love to do what Haiti just did, suspend their election indefinitely?
Ooh.
Well, I heard Michelle Obama say that they were being forced out of the White House. Forced.
Good.
In other words, well, listen, it's
if
not
we're
over
forcing them, we should have forced them earlier.
Homeland Security has already put out a directive. We talked about this last month. Have already put out a directive that states that want their help.
Yeah.
That want their help because they could be hacked
for the election.
This election.
Right.
That they're there for them. And I'm thinking,
anything.
Oh my gosh.
I heard that too, and I thought about that too. They're setting up a scenario where they can declare it null and void.
That's
what was it that Ronald Reagan said? Something to the effect of the scariest thing in the world he'd ever heard is someone say, "Hi, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help."
I'm here to help you. That's right. Anytime you hear that, you bet. And what he said is, you better run.
You better run.
Better run.
Better run and hold your wallet.
That's right.
Yeah, we're 33 days out from an election, and they're saying you could be hacked. It could be, and it might not. That's why you have paper ballots as backup.
Well, the machines in Alabama, I mean, they're locked. The poll workers, they don't know what those machines are counting. They can count it any way they want to, no matter what the people vote. And the poll workers cannot see the ballots. They're locked up in the machines, and they're only unlocked when I get back to the headquarters and destroyed.
Well, I don't think they're destroyed immediately. I think they're held for X amount of time in case they're, and that's what you should do. You should always have a paper ballot.
Yeah, because you got, in case of a recount.
In case of a recount that you can actually, I mean, if any state that doesn't have that, like Washington State that doesn't have that, you can just vote online.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yep.
Thank you, Greg.
Keep up the good work.
And Brian. Hey, Brian.
Hey, I heard some information yesterday that is breaking news, but the national media won't touch it with a 10-foot pole, and I want you to fill me in on the blanks and see what you have heard. I heard that the Justice Department was fixing to go to trial against an international arms dealer about some illegal weapons. This arms dealer told the Justice Department, said, okay, when I go to trial, I'm going to bring out how Hillary and Obama are involved in this little deal with me. Then the Justice Department put the brakes on it, and they announced yesterday afternoon that this trial will not be going forward after all. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, we had that story yesterday and the day before, yesterday morning and the day before. And so on September 12th, 2012, the day after Benghazi, we reported on the air that the reason the CIA annex was there was they were running guns. They were running guns to Syria. And so what happened is when they arrested this gun dealer, international gun dealer, he had the goods on Hillary and Obama. And they're saying, basically the whistleblower says, who told about this, said that the DOJ dropped the case because it would have embarrassed Hillary and Obama before the election. So they're letting him go. He's now talking about suing, by the way.
Well, it goes to show that if you want to be a big-time criminal, just get Obama or Hillary involved with you, and you don't have to worry about any consequences.
I'm surprised Congress hasn't weighed in heavier than they have. To tell you the truth. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Start your day at Hardee's with a delicious sausage and egg biscuit for only 99 cents. That's right, a buttery made-from-scratch biscuit with savory sausage and fluffy egg, now just 99 cents at your neighborhood Hardee's restaurant.
Whether you want to travel on-road, off-road, or off the grid, we've got you covered. When you want the best protection from everything Mother Nature can throw at you, we've got that covered too. If you want high-quality truck bed liners and accessories designed to endure the elements and last a lifetime, ask for Line-X spray-on protective coatings and travel on. Don't just protect it, Line-X it. Stop by Line-X today and see what's possible.
Call Line-X of Huntsville today at 721-1331.
It's home improvement time.
There's nothing more convenient than having the store come to you. And with Floor Coverings International, that's exactly how it's done. Shop for that just right floor in your own home, where you can see how the floor will look in your own surroundings with your lighting and furnishings. Find out more about Floor Coverings International, one of our home experts, at WBHPAM.com, keyword home experts.
Say good morning to Keith Pinkerton. He is Mr. Electric. Now, Keith, every month we have severe weather in the Tennessee Valley, power outages, a big problem. But you can help stop that.
That is correct. We can actually come in and install a whole house generator that automatically senses when the power goes off, takes you off the utility grid, and turns on the generator and powers up your house during a power outage. And when it power comes back on, it senses it and shuts down the generator and puts you back on the utility grid.
And another important feature with Mr. Electric is making sure you're safe at home.
We actually have a home safety inspection, electrical home safety inspection that we do when we come out to your house, and and we inspect your whole electrical system, and we educate you about your electrical system, and if we see any code violations or anything that needs to be addressed, we'll give you a free upfront quote.
Call Mr. Electric today at 1-888-536-8119.
Tired of getting the runaround? You won't at Jimmy Smith Buick GMC. Instead, we invite you to join the Preferred Owner Program. Whether you buy new or used, you'll get preferred treatment, including service. Come take advantage of the best offers of the year. Right now, you can get $9,000 off the Enclave or $5,000 off select Encores.
Come be a part of our family.
You'll find us on Highway 72 on the east side of Athens. Jimmy Smith Buick GMC.
We're your neighborhood dealer.
The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Well, so far it's a pretty quiet ride around Athens, around Decatur, a little crowded in spots, but no wrecks or stalls to warn you about. No big delays on 565. Research Park Boulevard looks good, as well as Highway 53. No big problems on the Parkway. Heading over Chapman Mountain looking good as well. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
If you're involved in youth or high school sports, you need to know about Positive Coaching Alliance. PCA is a national nonprofit organization developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. For more information, visit positivecoach.org.
WBHP is available everywhere you want to listen on our free iHeartRadio app. Download it now.
I'm Kerry Rosenblum with Rosenblum Realty, and it's football season again, and that means I'll be giving away $50 cash to one lucky Toni and Gary listener each week.
The Toni and Gary SEC Football Pick'em Contest. Find out more online at ToniandGary.com and listen weekdays 5 to 8 a.m. here on 800 and 1230 WBHP.
Welcome back to the morning show. Okay, what are we giving away?
$40 for Popeye's Cajun Fried Chicken. Movie passes for two at Hollywood 18. Family 4-pack to the Botanical Gardens. $20 from Dunkin' Donuts, Huntsville and Madison. And today is Big Prize Giveaway Thursday, so we've added $100 to Nick's Ristorante on South Bailey Cove in Huntsville.
And a day pass to the range at Last Resort Guns, County Line Road in Madison.
All you have to do is call us. At the end of the show, we'll draw from all the people who have called in, and that person wins.
534-3521 and 309-2313.
And we've added prizes. We have a
prizes.
family 4-pack to Tate Farms, golf for two at Point Mallard's championship course, and a pair of tickets to see Bill Engvall in concert at the VBC, the Here's Your Sign guy. Before we get to the phones, I just want to prove to you guys one more time how disingenuous the media is.
Okay.
They're such hypocrites. Mm-hmm. Okay, so over the last week, we've had breaking news from the New York Times, right, about the fact that Trump had lost $1 billion, close to it, 1997,
wrote it off his taxes,
carried forward, all that, right?
Oh, he just horrible. What a horrible person he is.
So now, after a little investigation, Donald Trump actually wrote about that. It's the first chapter of his 1997 book, The Art of the Comeback.
Yes!
And the New York Times actually published that first chapter in the New York Times and wrote a review of it in December 1997.
Was it a scathing review?
No. It was not a scathing review. He wrote about losing that money and how he lost it and why he lost it, which was a tax code. The Supreme Court changed tax code.
Oh, okay.
And
that's what the article was about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so what they did is they published,
not the article, but the chapter.
They published the first chapter of Trump's book, 1997, The Art of the Comeback, and how he came back from that. And wrote a review about it in 1997. Mm-hmm. But last week, they said it was breaking news that he'd been hiding this. And I'm reading through this. I mean, it goes through the whole thing about how he had, by the end of 1990, I had debt levels I was in the red. Property values had plummeted. And it went through with the Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court upheld this provision, he said not only for him but for his colleagues, prospects were grim. I mean, it went through this whole thing. I'm not going to read it to you, but that was in the chapter, right?
Right.
And they made it out like they broke news last week.
Yeah, they did.
When this was published in the New York Times, and he wrote a book about it.
Mm-hmm. And as an aside, the New York Times hasn't paid federal income taxes.
Not in 2014. They made a profit. That's the difference. He didn't make a profit.
I didn't see that they'd made a profit.
They made a profit
and still didn't pay.
And they got millions back from the IRS. Yes, the New York Times did. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I mean, the media is they're
bunch of liars.
They are. They're corrupt.
Yep.
Let's go to Philip. Hey, Philip.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
How you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Good. Let's get qualified.
You're in there, Philip. Thank you. And Susan? Hey, Susan.
Good morning.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
We're good. How are
and
you?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to say hello, and I don't know how we got this far with the media. I don't know how we're going to turn back.
You know, they're supposed to be watchdogs. They're supposed to tell the people what's going on, not be partisans for the Democratic Party. I mean, they're just another arm of the Democratic Party. I mean, it really is frightening. That
it really is.
And now the FCC is trying to shut down speech on talk radio, so we can't tell you the truth. They're doing everything they can to do that.
I think you have a whole generation where the history is being changed.
It is.
The media is being, it's plausible to any opinion. And it really is. I don't know when we're going to reach a boundary on it.
Well, you know, that's why this election is so important. You know,
exactly.
Even the FCC, they're appointees from the Democratic Party because they're in power. So, you know, they just go along with everything else that the Obama administration wants to do, and that's very dangerous.
It is. Well, I appreciate your show, and every morning I learn something.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan, very much.
You have a pleasant day.
You too. And Royce? Hey, Royce.
Good morning.
Hey.
On this trivia, you're throwing me off when you're saying that they're brave. Before you said that, my answer was going to be preacher.
Yeah, and we've had that answer several times, or missionary, and that's not it. So,
you know,
but
my son's got an answer.
Okay.
Ask a kid. He said pilot.
Pilot is on the list.
Awesome.
It is.
Isaac will be excited. We've only dropped him off, but that'll be cool.
So firefighter was number 1, police officer number 2, astronaut number 3, pilot number 4.
Sully comes to mind there.
Yes.
He was a hero, or is.
Very brave. Very good, Royce.
Cool. All right. Well, it's his answer, not mine. Y'all have a super day.
You too. And Alice?
Very
hey, Alice.
good, Isaac.
Good morning. I just want to get qualified.
You're in there, Alice. And Rose?
Good morning. I was calling to get qualified for this morning.
Well, you are in there as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
We have 2 more on the list. Remind me, Corey, to give the answers, please.
Okay.
Here's my question. Can turkeys fly?
I think for at least a short distance.
Well, I've always
they can
heard
jump and kind of.
Well, I've always heard that turkeys cannot fly.
Okay, maybe they can't.
So,
that's a question for Bo Thomas.
So why will wild turkeys be dropped from an airplane at the annual Arkansas Festival this weekend?
I don't know, but I'm going. That sounds
because
fun.
I thought turkeys didn't fly. Well, according to this guy, Dana Woods, he says he's been dropping turkeys from his Cessna for 15 years at this Arkansas Turkey Trot Festival.
Live?
Live.
Not frozen butterballs?
Well, that'll kill somebody. That'd be like dropping a bowling ball on top of somebody's head.
A big turkey that can't fly might kill somebody too.
Well, he says he doesn't drop the turkeys right over the crowds just in case. But he says the birds do fly and they glide to a landing. And then they're chased by children and adults alike. And
how does PETA allow this to
Well, I'm
happen?
going to tell you in a second. And the birds that are caught are displayed like hunting trophies on social media because most of them become either pets or dinner. But
Pets. Oh, pets.
Pets. I know I have a cold.
Are they wearing turkeys?
I have a cold. Now, enter PETA. Gimma Vaughn is an animal cruelty caseworker with PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Yeah.
And they said the turkey drop is a throwback to a sorry time when human beings were bone ignorant of animals' feelings. And that's her quote.
Now listen, I'm still bone ignorant on animals' feelings, but I can tell you this. That's cruel.
Cruel
to drop some live turkeys, and if they make it, then they're chased by a bunch of
kids,
hoodlums.
But today, there's no excuse, she says, for yahoos to pretend they don't know they're engaging in acts of cruelty, and sets a lousy example for kids. Just like dogs and cats, turkeys feel love and happiness, pain and fear, and. I need to get over this story before Thanksgiving, but I cannot for the life of me think that you would drop live turkeys, wild turkeys from a Cessna.
That's a little much.
And then watch them glide to the ground as children and adults alike chase them for either pets or dinner.
You know, we're going south for even laughing at this, Tony.
We are. We're. This is awful. It is sad. We'll take.
I bet there's video, and I'm fixing to find it.
Well, actually.
Oh, in that story, there's video.
There's video.
All right.
We'll be right back.
From the Tennessee Valley to your radio, it's WBHP's Valley Happenings.
Hi, my name is David Beer. I'm one of this year's Stars Dancing for Hills. A few years ago, while at Monaco Pictures, I had the opportunity to be a part of this amazing event. Well, I'm back dancing once again, and I need your support in making sure Huntsville and Madison County kids get the medical and dental care they need by voting online for your favorite star, me, at hillsinc.org. Stars Dancing for Hills is Monday, October 24th at the Von Braun Center. Support Hills and vote today by going to hillsinc.org and vote for David Beer.
And that's what's happening. For more information on Valley Happenings, log on to WBHPAM.com, keyword events. The traffic info you need now. Here's a WBHP Time Saver traffic update.
This report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Well, so far, it's a pretty quiet ride around Athens, around Decatur, a little crowded in spots, but no wrecks or stalls to warn you about. No big delays on 565. Research Park Boulevard looks good, as well as Highway 53. No big problems on the Parkway. Over Chapman Mountain looking good as well. I'm Captain Carl in the Hardee's Traffic Center.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, offers more than 1,000 free online resources to inform and inspire youth and high school sports coaches, parents, student athletes, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents a story about pickles.
It's 2 a.m. and your pregnant wife needs pickles. So you pick up some green happiness but accidentally hit a parked car. Great. Something else to worry about. Luckily, Liberty Mutual Insurance has 24/7 claims assistance, so you can take care of your claim right away. Problem solved. Now, if only you bought the right pickles.
Click the banner to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
You might not know it, but fall is the perfect time to feed your lawn. So this football season, you can spend halftime eating some lukewarm bean dip, or you can head outside and run some lawn feeding routes using Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard Fall Lawn Food. The conditions are ideal for grass to grow deep roots, so your lawn will be stronger come spring. So forget the room temperature dip. Get out there and pick up your bag today. Fall time is yard time with Scott's.
And this story is just sad. In Vermont, the state police say that there was a driver in a truck that was headed south when a tractor trailer loaded with milk struck a cow.
Oops.
In the middle of the road. Driver not injured, but the cow, of course, was at the scene.
Milked.
But for a cow to be hit by a milk truck, I mean, that just is wrong.
Have you seen the commercial? It's a commercial for milk. It's a dad and a son in the truck. They stop, get something sweet. They're driving down the road, see him eating it, and they says, "I wish I had some milk to drink." And he's driving a milk truck.
He's driving a milk truck. All right, Brian, you got an answer?
Yes, brave and heroic stay-at-home mom.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Oh.
Not it.
Not on there, Brian.
Pro athlete and race car driver were the next two answers.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. We'll be right back. Announce the winner.
I'm Tom Morgan with sports on the Alabama Radio Network. Teams all over the eastern seaboard are keeping an eye on Hurricane Matthew, with the massive storm set to hit Florida on Thursday and then churn up the coast. Today, UCF rescheduled Friday's game with Tulane in Orlando for November 5th. There could be an announcement affecting Florida's game with LSU on Saturday, and the Georgia-South Carolina game Saturday night in Columbia could be impacted. Former Alabama star Julio Jones is the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for Week 4 of the NFL season. And why not? All the Falcons wide receiver did was break Atlanta's record with 12 pass catches for a whopping 300 yards and 1 touchdown in the Falcons' 48-33 victory over the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. The National League wildcard game being played tonight. Toronto won last night's AL wildcard game 5-2 over Baltimore. That's sports on the Alabama Radio Network. I'm Tom Morgan.
Talking with Russ and Andy of Last Resort Guns on County Line Road in Madison. Coming up, the NRA First Steps Pistol Course for Semi-Automatic Pistols. Russ?
This is a introductory course. A big chunk of it talks about just basically selecting a pistol, finding what works for you. There's an opportunity to explore different sorts of pistol, look at a whole raft of information. It faces the new shooter. But basically this course is very much an introductory course for people who are maybe currently not shooters or have only done very limited amount of shooting in the past. The course will take you through that sort of initial hurdle, a chance to look at the hardware, make a selection of what suits you, and to practice with it.
Visit Last Resort Guns in Madison on County Line Road just south of Palmer Road, or give them a call today, 256-774-5741. That's Last Resort Guns.
This is 800 and 1230 WBHP, the Valley's Big Talker.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Congratulations to Ricky Larson. Good job. All right. So weather, what are we looking at?
Nothing here. Sunny, 88 today. Sunny, 87 tomorrow. Got a mess down in Florida, though. And looks like there could be some issues with football games this weekend.
Yeah.
LSU at Florida, possibly. And also the Georgia-South Carolina game. So we'll have to look and see. We're picking the LSU-Florida game. So that might put a wrinkle in our crinkle.
Well, you know what would happen is we'd have to eliminate that game and just go with the 3.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. We'll know more about it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much. Join us early, 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll be right here.
Bye, y'all.
Glenn Beck follows Fox News on WBHP Huntsville, WHOS Decatur, and WDRM FM HD2 Decatur, an iHeart radio station.